What's going on, everybody? It's your boy. I'm back. Yes, indeed. I'm Brian Redmond, and this is the Relationship Rehab. And on tonight, yes, as they say in the church, on tonight, we have a really good show for you. It is what it is, man. But thank God for Rumble. That's all I can say, man. And if you have not, please go subscribe to my Rumble, because this here ain't promised. And also, subscribe to the Guru and the Whore over on Rumble too. Tommy and I about to start doing our show again. Yeah. When are we as black folks? Everybody talk about when black community gonna ever come together. When black folks gonna ever get it right. Will black folks ever be able to overcome? Oh, he been saying that shit for 40 years, since I've been around. I think it needs to be a little bit more basic than that. I know this may be a shocker. But when are we as black folks just gonna treat each other with respect? When are we gonna treat each other with respect? How do I better myself? It's by doing the work myself. I need to work on myself by changing myself. How do I better my people? I need to change the thought process and the thought patterns of our people. Period. That's just what it is. Period. That's just what it is. I don't think that the social engineers were able to see it this far, but the idea and the premise to say, hey, if we can get the main decision maker and the leader out of the home, then we as the government can essentially control this group of people. And that's just something that has been factual with just society. When the man is not in charge of the home, when the man is not present in the home, then it leaves the family vulnerable. It just does. And so I believe that was done purposely for a position of control. What racist system is holding back the 3 black mayors? 3 black mayors. They don't fucking care. They let these niggas run over the streets. They let these niggas. I'm just saying, what system is holding back the mayor of Chicago? What racist system is holding back the mayor of New York? You tell me. Fill me in. Let me know what racist system got these mayors held back. Ain't none. And let me end wrap up with this, and I'm going to throw my big out. Thanks. What's going on, everybody? It's your boy, and I'm back. Yes, indeed. I'm Brian Redmond, and this is the Relationship Rehab. And on tonight, yes, as they say in the church, on tonight, we have a really good show for you. It is what it is, man. But thank God for Rumble. That's all I can say, man. And if you have not, please go subscribe to my Rumble, because this here ain't promised. And also, subscribe to the Guru and the Whore over on Rumble too. Tommy and I about to start doing our show again. Yeah. When are we as black folks? Everybody talk about when black community gonna ever come together. When black folks gonna ever get it right. Will black folks ever be able to overcome? Oh, he been saying that shit for 40 years, since I've been around. I think it needs to be a little bit more basic than that. I know this may be a shocker. But when are we as black folks just gonna treat each other with respect? When are we gonna treat each other with respect? How do I better myself? It's by doing the work myself. I need to work on myself by changing myself. How do I better my people? I need to change the thought process and the thought patterns of our people. Period. That's just what it is. Period. That's just what it is. I don't think that the social engineers were able to see it this far, but the idea and the premise to say, hey, if we can get the main decision maker and the leader out of the home, then we as the government can essentially control this group of people. And that's just something that has been factual with just society. When the man is not in charge of the home, when the man is not present in the home, then it leaves the family vulnerable. It just does. And so I believe that was done purposely for a position of control. What racist system is holding back the 3 black mayors? 3 black mayors. They don't fucking care. They let these niggas run over the streets. They let these niggas. I'm just saying. What system is holding back the mayor of Chicago? What racist system is holding back the mayor of New York? You tell me. Fill me in. Let me know what racist system got these mayors held back. Ain't none. And let me wrap up with this, and I'm going to my cigar. Thanks.
Says me and all who agree are more than 3 because they weak. It's your boy Brian Redmond. Yes, we are back again for another show. And on tonight, that's right, on tonight, we are going to have the opportunity to do a roundtable discussion if you all would like. So the lines will be open, but I do have some things that I, as Pops would say, I would like to talk about just a little bit. So I just want to give a shout out to everybody for tuning in. Thank you guys so much. Click that like button as y'all do come in. Much appreciated, much obliged. Thank you. So thank you so much. I did want to just give a shout out to all of the veterans, out there. I usually like post something on my page, but I didn't have time to do that. So I just want to give a shout out to all of my veterans out there who serve. 11/11 is y'all day, and I just want to say thank you all for your service. Those who have sacrificed and those who have given the ultimate sacrifice for our country to be what it is and to do what it is we do in these United States of America. I thank you guys. I thank you guys so much. Also, on 11/11 is a special day for me personally, because that is the day of my anniversary. Hey, y'all know that Jubu Smith played that on anniversary? Tony. Y'all know the dude that's been viral and been in everybody's TikTok that's playing the Frankie Beverly stuff, doing the Maze stuff, playing the guitar solo. He's also the guitarist that played them the strings in the guitar in Anniversary, Tony. So that's him. Yep, that's him. But I just want to say thank you to all of those people, but also to my wife, because that is our anniversary. It's our anniversary. Yep, we just made 13 years. 13 years, y'all, and I ain't put her out yet. So that means she's doing a good job. You know what I'm saying? So, hey, shout out to her. Congratulations, baby. I ain't put you out yet, so you've been doing all right. That's what I'm talking about. I just want to say thank you to everybody who has been riding with me, hanging in there, still supporting the show, still supporting the platform. I appreciate each and every one of you guys. And what I want to do in the way that I would like to set this up is I want to just basically go over some of the things about the election, during the election and post. And then I have some things that I would like to show you guys. And then at that point, after I've done that piece, then I will be more than happy to open up the lines to whoever would like to speak and give their perspective of the election or debate, whatever the case may be. And we can do that. Shout out to, I see my man Eric James is in the chat. Eric James is actually one of the people who actually gave the idea and requested to have a roundtable discussion. And y'all know me. Don't threaten me with a good time, baby. So all you got to do is ask, and I will show up. I'll pull up, and that's what I'm doing. So pull up on me. Pull up on me. So that's what I'm doing tonight. So I will soon post the link in the chat for any and everybody. If you guys want to share it with somebody to have them come in as well, feel free to do so. But I just wanted to go over some of the things that I, as Pops would say, I have just learned from this election. And talking with my brother, well, that's two Erics. That's Eric James and my brother Eric, my brother Easy. It's just some things that I've had and just discussions that I've had about this election that I've realized. And I'm going to be as frank, open, and as honest as I possibly can. And you don't have to agree with me. These are just my thoughts and my opinions. And I'm going to go ahead and just put it out there and just say one of the biggest revelations that I've had about this election. And this is, forgive me, I got something on my glasses here. But that I've learned about this election has just been, I guess I don't know the best way to say this, so I'm just going to say it. The level, and I mean high level, of just flat out ignorance and stupidity amongst Black people has been at an all-time high. And I say that specifically to this group because I have personally witnessed just this immense level of, it's not so much as doubling down on stupid, but just refusing to accept the truth. And it's like, sometimes everybody has their thoughts and their ideas and their opinions, and I'm totally fine with that. However, there comes a point where you have a revelation and you're presented with facts. You're presented with data. You're presented with just unequivocal evidence that's just given to you. And then at that point, when you see it clear as day, you have to either accept it and adjust, which is what most logical, sane people will do, or you will just go into complete denial and just don't want to accept it because of the reality and the responsibility of accepting it. It's kind of similar to how when people are in active shooter training, one of the things they teach you is that some people, a good portion of people, when an active shooter occurs, they will have a moment of denial where they will literally tell themselves that what is happening isn't happening. And you see that, I know you see that with people who are in situations that they have never fathomed that they could be in. So like me growing up on the south side of Chicago in the Wild Hunters, shout out to the 12 Deuce Lowdown. I grew up around gun violence. So my PTSD level of that, it's different than the average human, than the average person. So when I hear gunshots, I don't first think, oh, it's fireworks. Oh, someone is popping a balloon. I don't think that. I immediately think, who's shooting? And then my next thing is, where they're shooting from. So that's just because of how I'm wired and have been conditioned. That's why I think that way. So the first thing I will do physically to react is I'll get low. And then I'll look. I won't hit the deck and dive and cover my head. I won't do that because I'm conditioned differently. I'm wired differently. So what I'll do is I'll immediately think, when I hear that pop, 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 whatever it is, I immediately get low and then I look to see who's shooting or where they're shooting from, right? So that's how I'm wired because of the environment I grew up in. And it's just like when people are in active shooter situations, they don't want to believe that they're in an active shooter situation. So when they hear those initial pops, those initial bangs, they think, oh, it's fireworks. That's the most common one. Who's lighting fireworks? It's 10 o'clock in the morning and you work at the post office. Who would be lighting fireworks at that time of day, right? Fireworks are only lit at night for the most part. So why would you think that that's it? But it's that mindset that you're into where you don't want to believe that you are in this situation. So you try to deny it. And I think that's the way that it is with a lot of people. It's like, y'all didn't want to believe that what this administration, the Biden-Harris administration, what their goals were long-term and what they were setting us up for. Y'all didn't want to even believe or even think to fathom the ideas of what they were doing. And it's not a thing of them trying to say, oh, well, they just have different ideas and we just different. No, they're literally trying to change our entire society. They want to get rid of America as we know it. And they're doing it in several different fronts. The irresponsible spending to bankrupt the country, devaluing the dollar, the society-wise, that whole, LGBTQ, you can be whatever you want to be and we should address you that way. All that does is create a lot of confusion because the same tambourine player that's in your choir back in the 80s is the same tambourine player you got in the choir today. There's nothing additional that person needs to have that we all need to adhere to allow that person to live their life. They do what they do. But there's so many allowances. You can be a 5-year-old and tell me, that you're biologically a boy, but now you want to be a girl, or we have to use these different pronouns. It's a lot of different things that they have that they're making allowances for. Not to say that they can't have those things, but they're making allowances for those things to literally disrupt society, to keep us at odds. It's like a divide and conquer thing. If we all can't get along and come together on the basic common things because of all of these other fringe things that are out on the fringes, then that creates a great opportunity for them to do whatever they want to do behind the scenes because there's such a big distraction. Just like with COVID, huge distraction. Just like 9/11, huge distraction. And there were so many things that were being done behind the scenes on a government level, on a behind the scenes New World Order level that were going on that we just never really thought to really think about and ponder on because we're so busy looking at what's happening up in front of us, and we can't see the forest because we're too busy focused on the trees. So it's like when you think about those kinds of things and where we're at today, being at odds and the country being split, it's being split because of several different things. And I think the biggest things were what was at stake for this election. And it was a lot of morals, values, economy, and just the way of life that so many of us are used to living, literally being ripped from our hands. The idea of people saying, I can't afford a home. That's one of the things America was founded on. People being able to say, I can't afford food. When has there ever been a problem in America where you couldn't afford food? You're making choices as far as paying your bills and eating. Those kinds of things have never ever been encroached upon like they have been as of recent. And I think that those things are what really banded people together. And when you look at this election, there's a couple of things that we need to really just take a look at and acknowledge. One of those, for instance, was when we talk about the 2020 election. And y'all can go, don't take my word for any of this. Go and look it up. 2020 election, most votes ever casted. They said in 2020, the most people to have ever voted in that election, right? To the tune of Joe Biden had 81 million votes, the most votes by any president, right? Yes, and our Second Amendment rights as well, Michael. Thank you. The most votes ever, right? Joe Biden, 81 million. Okay. Trump in 2020, he had 74 million votes. Okay. Just hear these numbers. He had 74 million votes, roundabout. Biden had 81, right? So that means he beat Trump by a little over 6 million votes. Okay. Now hear this. In 2024, Trump won unprecedented win. Nobody has ever won like he's won. This is the greatest electoral comeback of all time. Now, he got 75 million votes. Okay? 75. So he had about 1 million more votes than what he got last election. Okay? Now, Kamala Harris, she got roundabout 71 million votes. Let's just say 71 million. 74 million, 81 million. Okay? This election, 75 million, 70 million. My question is this. Can anybody tell me, with the high level of division, the highest level of tension, anxiety in this election, probably than any of the ones in our generation? You talking about most important election? This one. Y'all tell me, where did 10 million American votes go? Y'all explain to me how 10 million Americans that showed up less than 4 years ago didn't show up this year. I'll wait. I'm open to all ideas. I'm open to any excuses. Y'all tell me what happened to 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 million votes went. Out of 10 million Americans, y'all telling me that none of them voted? They all said to hell with this election. 10 million. We're not talking about 10 million Americans. We're talking about 10 million registered voters. By this logic and by these numbers, sat out of this election. And this election was even more important than the election 4 years ago. That's why I said what I said about that previous election in 2020. Did they win? Yes. But how they won? They had 10 million votes show up out of nowhere that couldn't show up this year. You tell me, where does 10 million American registered U.S. voters go just on a whim? You tell me. They didn't even get half. The exact number that he won by, the exact number that he was up, that he got the most of was 10 million. And now she only had 70? How she lose 10 million votes? You know how you lose 10 million votes? It's when you can't harvest ballots. It's when you can't just pull ballots out at 2 o'clock in the morning and just start counting them out of nowhere. That's how. So yes, did he have the most votes? Sure did. Did he win the election? Sure did. But he won it with a bunch of bogus votes. That's how he did it. So with that being said, getting back to my point, when there's factual data that's present and presented to you, it's very hard to accept the fact that you have been wrong, or that you have made a mistake, or that you done something or have been supporting something that is not necessarily something that you morally stand behind. So instead of you admitting that, you just stick to your guns and you say, oh well, but this. Because here's the thing, anybody, and this is going to be one of my other points that I'm going to get to as well with Black folks, because Black folks, most of us are, for the most part, Christians, right? Yeah, right. Okay. People have even said that Kamala Harris is Christian. She got a pastor. She didn't came to other churches. She was at Jamal Bryant Church, almost preached or whatever, right? How can you be a Christian? A follower of Christ, which means you go by what? The good book, aka the Bible, the Bible. How can you have an agenda like she has and supports the things that she supports and still call yourself that? It is such a contradiction from people that say they good, Jesus-loving, Bible-thumping Christian folks. And what's even more embarrassing are the pastors that supported her and supported the Democratic Party and were just all behind the DNC with all of those things that they support. You talking about you a preacher, you God's man, the shepherd of the sheep, the shepherd of a house of God. You are the pastor. You are all of this. However, you at a convention supporting a presidential candidate that got an abortion trailer pulled up outside. How does that work? And this is the stuff that people don't want to hear and people don't want to talk about. That's why I'm just saying it and putting it out there so that, hey, it can be what it is. How is it that you Christians are for killing babies? Thou shalt not kill. What about that part? I'm just saying. How is it? I don't know how you justify that biblically as a Christian saying, I'm a Christian and I am in support of this person doing this. Where in the Bible has there been a kid who cut their genitalia off? Gender reassignment surgery. Where is that in the Bible? But y'all take y'all ass to church every week. But y'all supporting and voting for that. Just saying. Those are the questions that people don't want to talk about and don't want to answer because they can't. They literally cannot answer those questions. So how is it that you're saying that you're this and you standing up in God's house in the pulpit, and this is who you standing up as a preacher, because your preachers are responsible for that, because y'all standing these people up, and then you standing up supporting, talking about, yeah, we should, yeah, they should, you vote for her. You crazy not to. You've been bought and paid for. And my thing is this, as preachers, pastors, y'all just, in all honesty, y'all just need to leave it alone. I think pastors, preachers shouldn't stand nobody up in their pulpit. Whether they gonna tell you who to vote for or not, you just shouldn't do it. Because you're in a leadership position and you standing somebody up in your pulpit that isn't going by that book, it's a bad look on you. Because you don't know what these people are gonna do once they get in office. You don't know what these people are standing for when they get in office. You don't know who they're actually, who has bought and paid for these people. They are politicians. Unless that person is somebody that goes to your church, is a member, and you know them and got a relationship with them, I get it. Other than that, y'all should just stay out of it. Because it is a contradiction to you and that book. If that's what you're standing for. There are churches now today where they got Christian churches. I'm talking Christians. Got a Bible and in the pulpit preaching, but the preacher is married to a man and they call the man the first man. Instead of the first lady, you know how they call the first lady the wife of the preacher, the first lady of the church? No, you got a first man of the church. Y'all need to stay out of that kind of stuff because it makes you look bad. It makes the church look bad. Preachers got enough stuff going on in their lives, and there's way more stuff going on that they need to be watching out for, like being swallowed up. Y'all need to be more worried about that kind of stuff as opposed to getting into the game of politics. You got preachers partying with Diddy. Y'all need to be more worried about that. TD Jakes out there with P. Diddy. Those are the things. It's bad enough we dealing with that part. You got these preachers that's passing around STDs throughout the congregation. You dealing with that. Let's focus on that. Get prayed up about that. Stop putting these politicians, and most of the time, it's just politicians that y'all barely know. Stop putting them up just because they show up every 4 years or every 2 years when they running, talking about, thank you so much. I'm so glad and honored to be able to worship with you today. You know, y'all really know how to have church. Amen. I come to you from Ebenezer Baptist over on 17th and Jefferson, and the Honorable Pastor Walter Wiggins is my pastor, and I'm just so thankful to be able to share Sunday worship service with you all. Now, I'm about to run, and I'm on this ballot. My name is... Why? What is this person doing for us? We gonna stop this, and we gonna stop this racism in the courts, and we gonna stop. Look here, man. You don't know what this person is gonna do. You don't know what this person's agenda is. You don't even know this person. Why would you stand them up to your sheep? Why would you expose them to your sheep? Because you don't know if it's a wolf or not. You don't know if it's a fox. And you bringing them into the hen house to get everybody to vote for them. Why? That ain't your calling. Stick to pastoring and preaching the word. Get out of this politics game. You got Jamal Bryant talking about what black men need to be doing, and black men shouldn't be afraid of voting for a black woman. You come from a black woman. She black. She is a black woman. Meanwhile, she don't have no relationship with her daddy. Meanwhile, her daddy is what? Irish. Meanwhile, she washed her greens in the bathtub. I ain't letting that go. And meanwhile, she married to a white man, and we talking about your mama black. What does that have to do with anything? You come from a black woman. I do. Her man is white. What do you mean? How is this about skin color? And it's not saying that nothing is bad about her having a white husband, but why would that even be a thing? She should have never made it a thing to be black, even though she didn't, everybody else did. Because she was clearly on TV talking about she's an Indian. She's clearly over her career has been and recognized as a Middle Eastern or an Asian, Middle Eastern Asian candidate in all her other titles that she's had and positions she's held. So why would we make that a thing? Just to get the black vote, to say they black? We should have been pissed off at that fact that y'all throwing this up in our face saying, yeah, we gonna vote for her. That means we black because we got to vote for her. Even with the shit Obama was pulling, telling you, yeah, you need to do this because she black and she a woman. So what's her policy? If every time I ask this woman something, the first thing out her mouth is she come from a middle class family. Telling me stupid shit like, let's be unburdened by things that have been. What the fuck does that mean? And they really thought that people would buy that shit. Now, some of y'all did now. 70 million of you niggas did. Just saying. Why would that be a thing to say, this is what black folks need, this is what black folks, we stand Obama. And I'm so glad that Obama has lost his gravitas because he was by far the coldest goddamn politician I've ever seen in my generation. I know. When it comes to speaking to them people and getting them folks to do what you need them to do, you talking about an overseer? This nigga was the Pied Piper of niggas. I swear to God, only nigga that could probably command an audience more than that nigga was probably R. Kelly back in the 90s. But that nigga there, man, I have not seen a better politician. Obama could talk your ass into killing yourself. Now look now, you gonna be all right. You just take that razor and you slit your wrist. Now don't you slice across now. You got to mean this. Because this is about hope. And this is about change. Change your life by taking your life. Slice downward, that way, yes. And motherfuckers be like, yeah, you right, Obama. Fuck this, man. Yo, Obama, right. That's how cold Obama was. That motherfucker had me drink that Kool-Aid not once, but twice. 3 times if he made it. He could have ran a third time. And motherfucker probably be like, man, I gotta vote for the nigga, man. Gotta give him another chance. But he didn't do nothing the first 2 times. Yeah, but they say third time's a charm, nigga. Let the nigga go. Let the nigga live. It's like, it should come down to this. When you look at what's going on, and when you look at what these people are standing for, and if they're not standing for something, you should be even more alarmed. If they're not telling you nothing that's substantial that you can actually go and look at and vet, and it doesn't serve you, you should be even more afraid. You should be even more afraid. And usually the way that goes, when somebody just talking that we black shit, when somebody just talking that we the people, we gonna come together, when they just saying that and they got no plan, that means they're gonna be worse than what's there. Case in point, Brandon Johnson in Chicago. I told all you niggas, I said, this nigga ain't nobody. He just came out of the blue. He's a goddamn teacher. What would he know about running a city? Let alone, what, the 3rd largest city in the country? Why would y'all vote for somebody like that? I said, he gonna be worse than Lori Lightfoot. Sure enough, he is city fucking bankrupt. Literally. What? Why? We voted for him because what? He black. He young. He got a cool haircut. He got a little mohawk. He's a fucking teacher. But You had somebody running against him. Who was he? Willie Brown, accomplished businessman, man owned a handful of McDonald's, multi-millionaire. He obviously knows something. Why you didn't vote for him? Man, he get like a speech impediment. He be talking funny. Okay, so you want this smooth ass nigga to come and fuck you over, huh? Okay. Y'all didn't even know where this dude was from. Y'all didn't even know what he stood for. He literally had done nothing. Goddamn school teacher running the city. How's that working out for you? Those are the kind of things that we do to ourselves, and then we don't want to accept responsibility for them. That's all this is. It's like we are just so stuck. If you come along, you dress nice, you get some celebrities behind you, you drop some buzzwords and some key phrases that people want to hear, we gonna ride with you. And that's sad. We gonna make the billionaires pay their fair share. Yeah, that's right. What the fuck is fair share? Most of you niggas don't even know what a billionaire is paying now. What the fuck does their fair share have to do with you? You know what it is though? Niggas love free. You tell a nigga that somebody else gonna pay and give them something, they all for it. We gonna make the companies pay these taxes. Hell yeah, they should. You pocket watching, nigga. Go get your own money. You pocket watching. Go make your own money. I have said on countless times, there should be a pretty much damn near flat tax, and shouldn't shit ever go over 15%. I've said that for no matter how, once you make over this such and such amount, you make that over 400,000, you should never have to pay more than 15% of your taxes. You making over $500,000, you should not have to ever pay more than 15%. Everybody else that's under 500,000, you should from under 500,000 to maybe about 80,000, 10%. Flat. That's it. Everybody up under 80,000, you pay 2%. And if you down under past 60, your ass don't pay nothing. Keep your money, homie. You tax exempt. You make less than $50,000 a year, you don't pay no taxes, bro. That's how that shit should go. And we figure it out from that money that we have. We got plenty of motherfucking other ways that we get money out here. We got plenty of other ways that we can get money. It don't all have to come from the taxpayers. Let us grow and stimulate the economy. Instead of y'all talking about, we're going to do price gouging. We're going to make sure that the groceries ain't... Man, the last thing you want is for the government to regulate your prices of groceries. The government regulating your prices of, not prices, but the cost of a minimum wage. They don't know. 95% of politicians don't know jack shit about business. 95% of politicians don't know shit about economics. Why would we want those people making the decisions to determine how the free market works, determine how minimum wage works, determine how pricing works? No fucking way. But you sit back and you look at the mismanagement of money that the government has consistently done for decades, generations. It's appalling. We fucking broke. We fucking busted. We can't afford gas. We can't afford energy. We can't afford groceries. We can't afford shit. And they steadily sending 200 billion over to the Ukraine, one. And then every illegal that's coming in, they giving these motherfuckers $350 a week or whatever, $5,000 checks and debit cards with $3,500 on it. While the Americans, the people that are working and the people that are born here are just left to figure the shit out on their own. That makes no fucking sense at all that we're in support of somebody doing that. And people didn't want to acknowledge the fact that they were the ones that let all these immigrants come over here. They were the ones that let all of these people just get over here and fuck shit up. When y'all watching these people out here in these streets shitting on the sidewalks, you watching these people fighting the fucking police. You watching these people doing all this shit, stealing, breaking in, robbing, raping people, killing young girls. Y'all watching all this shit, not to mention the 300,000 children that just went missing that nobody just gives a fuck about. We watch all of this and we still like, yeah, but you know, Donald Trump's racist. Donald Trump is racist. Any nigga that says that today after all of this shit, I literally just downgrade your level of intelligence to you a stupid motherfucker. In my mind, the minute you say, yeah, but he a racist, in my mind, like, okay, you dealing with a stupid motherfucker. Because it's the same nigga that was in that every rapper in their songs back in the 90s all said I want to be like Donald Trump. This the same motherfucker that freed a bunch of niggas when he was president, but he a racist. This the same motherfucker that went and tried, and the only one that even took a sit down and listened to Ice Cube. Meanwhile, your boy Biden and Harris, they said, fuck Ice Cube. Fuck you, Ice Cube. Yeah. He's the nigga we love to hate. But y'all forget about that shit though, right? Donald Trump ain't done nothing but dated and hung around niggas. What are we talking about? And then when you look at what did Kamala Harris say she was gonna do? I'm gonna give you $25,000 for the first time home buyers. Not everybody, first time home buyers. Okay, how does that work? If the average home, the median is roughly around $330,000. Average home median across the country. What the fuck is $25,000 gonna do when I'm trying to buy a house that's on average $330,000? How many niggas can afford a $300,000 house? I'll wait. But you know what? Niggas who ain't never bought a house, they don't think about that. Niggas who don't know what it takes to buy a house, they don't think about that because they don't know shit about buying a house. And that's just like you going to buy. That's just like, and I'm about to really bring it home for you. That's like you going to buy an Escalade. And I tell you, an Escalade today, brand new, top of the line Escalade, $160,000. You going to buy that Escalade and I tell you, hey, you know what? Since you're going to buy that Escalade, I'm going to give you $1,600 off that Escalade. You a first time car buyer? I'm gonna give you $1,600 off that Escalade. Go ahead, bro. You get 1% off. That's what that means. You're gonna be like, what the fuck am I gonna do with $1,600? My taxes, my fucking appraisals, all the other shit I gotta get, my inspections that I gotta pay, $25,000 gonna go by real quick. And here's the kicker to that. If I'm selling a house and I know that everybody who's buying a house for the first time, they're getting $25,000 towards that house, what would I do being the smart person who's selling a house to anyone that's going to buy a house? What would I do? I think I would raise the price of my house by $25,000. Here's the other part. Who the fuck is paying for it? We're going to take our tax dollars to give somebody $25,000 to buy their first house. Meanwhile, me, the motherfucker who working day and night. They got me working day and night. I'm the motherfucker that got to pay extra taxes and pay more to give your ass a first time home buyer $25,000. I didn't get no $25,000. Just like that whole thing. So it's bullshit. The whole first time business owners. Now we all know that the middle class and the entrepreneurs are some of the main pillars of the economy, boosting it, running it, keeping it going. Only the first time business owners can get up to a $50,000 tax write-off in their first year. After that, you're on your own. So what about me? The motherfucker who barely survived COVID. What about me? The motherfucker who started their business this year. I guess I'm just fucked up. Those are the things that we don't think about. because we hear money and we think we're getting something for free, and they get us hook, line, and sinker. We jump on that shit like a fish. Like salmon going upstream during the mating season. They just jumping out at it. That makes no sense. We get hooked on buzzwords, and it's ridiculous. It's insulting, and it's stupid when we buy it. And the other part, last but not least, the celebrities. When are niggas gonna stop listening to celebrities? You know, I think they just did. Do y'all realize that this woman spent $1.2 billion on her campaign? She literally paid Beyonce for what she did in her campaign to endorse her, $10 million. Beyonce showed up, spoke for 15 minutes at that, $10 million. She gave Oprah $1 million. And you know what Oprah said? Well, the money didn't go to me. It just went to the people who put the show together. When the fuck does an Oprah Winfrey show cost $1 million for one episode? What the fuck? Who the fuck is this, dog? Is this Jerry Seinfeld? In the final season of Seinfeld or something, you get $1 million an episode? How the fuck do you need $1 million for one episode to do a show with Kamala Harris? What the fuck kind of shit is that? It's like you don't think about she paid Lizzo $2 million. And Lizzo got her fat ass up there talking about, we gonna make America look just like Detroit. Bitch, have you been to Detroit? Detroit is a wasteland. That's why I've been saying close Detroit for years. I know some motherfuckers that's watching this from Michigan, especially my cousin Wes watching. I know he mad at a motherfucker. He like, fuck you. Fuck Detroit. The only thing that should be in Detroit is a fucking gas station right in the middle of it. And that gas station just to be so you can get gas, so you can take your punk ass on up to Canada or take your punk ass back down to Chicago. That's it. Wherever the hell else you going. Just so you won't get stuck there. That's the only thing Detroit should be used for. Other than that, close the motherfucker down and they can leave the statue of RoboCop up. That's it. Murphy, drop it. That's the only thing. That's the only thing Detroit should be used for. Detroit ain't good for shit. I said it. Fuck the Lions. Fuck the Tigers. Fuck the Red Wings. The Pistons. Fuck all of them. Close that shit. It's a waste of time. They ain't done nothing but ruin important, great player careers. They fucked around Barry Sanders and they fucked around Megatron. They did it. But now the motherfuckers might go to the Super Bowl. But that's a whole other show. Anyway, that's all I'm saying. She paid Eminem, who I'm like, let me tell you, I ain't gonna knock the nigga's artistry. But that motherfucker there, he on, man, look. You talking about stupid? Man. Now that motherfucker put some verses together, but he's stupid than a motherfucker. She paid him $1.8 million to get up there. Damn, that was a loud car. She paid him $1.8 million. So it's like you spent millions of dollars to have these celebrities and to have these artists come and support you, and you still could win. How the fuck do you blow $1 billion and still go in the hole by 20-something million? I'd be mad than a motherfucker. I'd be mad than a motherfucker, boy. If I donated to that campaign with them big dollars and lost, bullshit, man, shit. I wonder if my shit thing works. Y'all let me know if y'all heard that shit, that Clay Davis. I'd be mad as hell. And then the bitch went over budget and didn't pinch the motherfucking election. So it's like when you look at all of those things and you look at what has taken place and where we are today, I'm going to tell you like this. She was set up for the win, but the reason why she lost, one of the biggest reasons, is that they and that entire party, they are out of touch of the common people. And they have been out of touch, but they're just showing it even more and more and more. It's just like how the conversations I had with old niggas about this election. They stuck on that same old school shit from the 90s and the 80s. They are racist. You back in the 80s and 90s, you say a white person racist, they might as well kill themselves because there ain't no coming back from that. And then you couple that with he's Hitler, he's a threat to democracy, and he's a felon. That shit kills me. I've had countless texts and discussions with my uncle about this felony shit. The man got charged for buying some pussy. That's what he did. Y'all tell me, and I'm not saying, hey, you want to say it's illegal, whatever the case may be, we was all good and all cool with black folks. We was cool when Bill Clinton got him some. Bill Clinton got some neck in the Oval Office. What did niggas do? Goddamn right. He deserved it. He worked for that. He the president. Why can't he get some? This dude slept with a porn star 10 years ago. And y'all now saying he's a felon. And my thing is this. How does that affect his job as the president? And here's the other thing of just the stupidity of niggas. All these niggas that was going around posting this shit talking about, yeah, all applications should never have, are you a felon? Bullshit. You stupid motherfuckers. Somebody coming to work in my kid's school, I want to know if they're a felon. But y'all dumbasses. Now, somebody who's going to run the budget, I don't give a fuck if your ass is doing some other, as long as you ain't doing shit nefarious to your job. Paying for some pussy and running the country, I'd rather the motherfucker who's paid for some pussy, who can actually tell Putin to back the fuck up, who can tell Xi Jinping, hey man, we ain't doing that, who can stimulate the economy, because ain't not damn motherfucking who done got elected could come in and make Bitcoin go to $90,000 in less than a week. I want that motherfucker to come into office. And if he got to come into office, so be it. Right, easy. It's okay when they do it. It's a problem when I do it. All the fucking pedophiles and convicted motherfucking pedophiles and sex offenders in the goddamn Congress and the Senate, ain't none of you niggas said nothing about them. But now Trump, who bought some pussy and had some presidential records that he's actually entitled to have and that Joe Biden had, y'all mad about that. See, no, shouldn't be no fella, dare to be president. People don't even realize that most elected officials, you can have a record. Do y'all know how many motherfucking ex-cons that went and turned their life around and went and voted and went and became politicians? You niggas voted for them still. Do you know how cool it is to be in the fucking hood and to be a criminal? You niggas love it. Y'all will throw a nigga a coming home from prison party before you throw a nigga a graduation party. Shout out to Tommy Sotomayor. You motherfuckers would do that. You motherfuckers will throw a baby shower for a motherfucking single mother than you will a motherfucker who about to graduate and get their masters. Y'all will go all out for her ass. It's unbelievable the way that niggas would just trade in their morals and values just to be right for themselves. Believe in the lie. It's like, nigga, if you ain't never broke the law and you got a problem, I get it. I know too many niggas, and the majority of niggas I know have broken the law. Majority of niggas I know have been flat out gangsters and thugs, and a motherfucker telling me, man, he's a thug. He can't be president. Nigga, you was a thug. What you talking about? And the nigga who I'm talking about know who I'm talking about. Nigga running the streets of Memphis, Tennessee, talking about a motherfucker criminal. Man, you ain't going the fuck on. I had to tell somebody on social media who was talking about, well, he just this, he's a criminal. I said, well, wait, ain't you a Christian? Whatever happened to a second chance God that we serve? Crickets. It's those kind of things that when you drop them on a motherfucker, you will go and support a pastor who has a nefarious fucking history. No for fucking boys. Shout out to Eddie Long. And all you niggas that run up in there shouting and praising and running and slapping the tambourine Sunday after Sunday till that nigga was in the grave. But Donald Trump don't get a second chance because he purchased some poontang? Really? Thank you, Eric. Marion Barry smoked crack. Smoke crack. Crackhead. Voted that nigga back in. And hey, if he cleaned himself up and he can run the city, let that crackhead do his thing, man. Just don't smoke no crack while you're in office. How do we now have these morals, these selective morals, I should say, and values when it comes to somebody that we don't like or because of their skin color? You niggas are some of the worst hypocritical, racist motherfuckers in the world, and be the first one to complain about somebody doing y'all wrong. Y'all called this man Hitler. Do you realize Hitler killed 6 million Jews? 6 million people he murdered. And y'all saying that this man is that? Why you saying it? Because a motherfucker on The View told you to say it? Why you saying it? Because Nancy Pelosi told you to say it? Why you saying it? Because fucking Kamala Harris told you to say it? Yeah, you know Kamala Harris, the home wrecker, the woman who slept with a married man for fucking decades so that she can climb herself up the political ladder. Y'all forgot about that part though, right? Because y'all okay with that shit. That's why you motherfucking niggas love motherfucking what's the shit with Kerry Washington? Y'all love that shit. Black woman sleeping with the president, a married man sleeping around and whoring herself out. And y'all love that shit. That's my girl. That's a boss bitch. She's a whore. And y'all loved it and made her show #1. Then the minute a basketball player marry a white girl, see, there they go. There they go. Always with the white girl, always getting on the snow bunny. You got a nigga like Umar talking about 80 lashes for marrying a snow bunny. Scandal. Thank you, Amanda. You niggas are ridiculous when y'all just try to say the shit and want somebody to support and believe it. Like y'all talking like y'all really right. The woman was a fucking homewrecker. Same thing with Barney Willis. Y'all excuse anything a black woman do just because what? Because she black? And she a woman? So she can sleep around with this married man? And then the minute a motherfucker sleep around with your married man, your husband, you bitches ready to fight, stab, and kill a motherfucker. And then talk about how niggas ain't shit. But when you decide, bitch, hey, shit, girl, you gotta do what it do. Get your sneaky link on, girl. As you patting your motherfucking wig. Patting your wig. Shit, I know what it is. Sometimes you just gotta, what he do? It's ridiculous to the lows that we will sink to just so we can try to prove that we right. Because we don't want to say, damn, this bitch is fucking up. She was supporting criminals that were illegal aliens in jail, locked up, to actually get a sex change paid for with U.S. tax dollars. And y'all want to pay for that. because even though I can't prove it, Donald Trump is racist. Why is he racist? Well, back in 1984, the Central Park Five, you know, them 5 kids that admitted to the shit that they did. Yeah, he wanted to give $25,000 to somebody who could help catch them motherfuckers. Ain't that some shit? Oh, you mean the kids that said they held her down but they didn't fuck her? You want to tell me the kids that said that they just touched her but they ain't put their thing in her? Dumb kids? That's your racist compared to a bitch saying, yes, I want to give sex changes to illegal inmates. You got a fucking vice president talking about passing out tampons to boys? Y'all okay with that? But y'all in church talking about Jesus gonna work it out. Jesus gonna work it out. He's giving tampons to boys. And y'all okay with that? That's who y'all went and voted for. That's who y'all went and punched the card for. But you niggas don't want to talk about that shit now, do you? But you be the first one talking about, yes, giving honor to the Most High. And boy, stop. Stop it. And just to show you guys, I'm just going to give you a real quick example of this. Let me see if I can share my screen real quick. And then I'm going to open up the lines, man, and hear from you guys, and I'm going to shut up. See if I can do this. There we go. Yeah. It worked. I hope y'all can read this. There we go. I'm going to see if I think I can make it just a tiny bigger. Oh, yeah. Perfect. There we go. So this is what I posted. I said, random thought. Does anybody ever remember Kamala Harris? And it's like, let me tell y'all something. I've never, ever trolled the way that I trolled this past 2 weeks. I trolled and I set these motherfuckers up. I was setting their ass up. You know how it's chess, not checkers, goddammit. Now, this is what I put up here. Random thought. Does anybody ever remember Kamala Harris mentioning what church she goes to, or even God for that matter? I'm no Bible thumper. I just didn't remember hearing anything about her faith, being a black woman and all, right? Because she black. All right? And all. I do know that she's from a middle-class family and is Greek. All right? We do know that. Just thinking out loud, right? Now, 51 comments, right? Okay, here we go. So, boom. Matter of fact, let me change that to all because I don't want to miss no context. So my man Anthony says, facts, she's not black, right? Then we get 19 replies, okay? Now, 19 replies, people saying, hey, how do you conclude she's not black? I would conclude that as her father being Irish, who she don't have shit to do with, and the fact that she has always said and has never come out and said, I'm a black woman. How dare you motherfuckers? Her mama's Middle Eastern, she's Indian, so I don't know how that would qualify her as black. And not to mention, she washes her greens in the bathtub. Come on, man, y'all know better. But I digress. And she's like, do your research, right? Her father's Jamaican. That's not black enough. And it's like, people say that. Her father Jamaican. Don't that? Here's my thing. In that case, by that same logic, Elon Musk is African American. Elon Musk is black. Would y'all say that? Hell no, you niggas wouldn't say that. Hell no, you niggas wouldn't say Elon Musk is black, would you? And he's literally African American. The nigga is from Africa. Odabo, Jack. So why can't if Elon Musk black? 99.9% niggas would say no. Why? Because his daddy wasn't black. His mama wasn't black. You're black. To free South Africa, you dumb son of a bitch. So he's not. And it's the same thing with Kamala Harris' daddy. That motherfucker's Irish. She got Irish heritage. Ain't no problem. But why are y'all making that a thing to say, oh, you automatically black? Y'all from Jamaica. Y'all thinking this nigga daddy, her daddy name is what the fuck was her daddy, her father name? Dennis? Dennis Ranks or some shit. Or like this nigga's one of the Marleys. He's not. He was a rich slave driver. His family was known for owning slaves. It's the Jamaicans. They will tell you this. They were saying this. And then my man, and to make matters worse, she married to a white man. Boom. I'm just saying. There's the facts. Why he got to go find this? Why can't you motherfuckers that saying that he is, she was, or she is black finding this? Why is that? That's my point. And here we go. So if she's biracial, so if a biracial man marries a white girl, that makes him a white boy? No, it makes them biracial. You better let them know that they lost their black card, because there's a lot of them that out here that don't know that rule. Glad I didn't marry a white man and lost my my black card I'm holding on by a string. It just makes them biracial. It just makes you biracial. That's what it does. And my thing is this: just because she lived in fucking in Oakland, that don't make you black. It's ridiculous at the fact that what people will say, and then and this is where it got real spicy. She says, "What does her church membership have to do with anything? You don't mix church and state anyway." Well, no, that's not true. Because when you ask Senator Warnock, do you mix church and state? Oh, yeah. When you ask Jamal Bryant, do you mix church and state? Oh, yeah. That's exactly what you're going to do. And y'all saying she definitely acknowledges Jesus as her personal savior. So if she did, and let's say she is, I'm going to give you that. Then y'all answer me this: how is she for abortion? How does she actually stand up and say she's such, she go to Ebenezer Baptist on 3rd Street? How does she do that and then say that she is Christian? Just saying. So wouldn't you think? So you're telling me I can be a Christian, but when it comes to me doing my job, I can say fuck all that and just go do my thing? I can be a mass murderer. I can go and just do whatever, and that's just what it is. Hey man, no. And just saying, when you ask these people that, they're not even asking my brother George. They're not even asking her. They're not even asking themselves that question. But if you are for that, if you own that, like they said, y'all seen it. She has acknowledged Jesus as her personal savior. Then what we talking about, y'all? How you gonna say somebody got Jesus in them and they ain't showing you they Jesus in them? And y'all voting for them, saying that y'all got the same Jesus that she's supposed to have in her, it's supposed to be in y'all. Which is why I said these preachers, y'all on some bullshit. And it's like the question here, I'm curious why that would be an issue regarding her religion. And for the people who say she is not black, that is ridiculous. It's not. She's not even from here. Well, she's from here, but her people ain't even from here. That's all I'm saying. And my thing is this: I personally don't think that her being black or not is an issue. Same with Barack Obama. Even when Donald Trump was talking about he ain't American, he's such and such, he's this, that motherfucker got his birth certificate. Hey man, the motherfucker in America, he can run for president. Is he black? I would say he's biracial, but that still don't matter. It still don't matter. It shouldn't have even been a point of contention, because people made it a point of contention because that's how they expect niggas to vote. And that's my problem with that. Y'all expect because a motherfucker black, and here's where she spoke at a church. She was at Jamal Bryant Church, I believe, in this video, And that's when I was like, hey, Thanks for letting me know. That's all I wanted to see. That's all I wanted to know. Is if that's what it was, I asked the question, I got the answer, but then I had to ask the question, well, if this is the case, how y'all niggas voting for this woman? And y'all see what she's standing for? Sex changes? Really? That's what y'all voting for? The shit she doing to kids to read them motherfucking books about it ain't easy being all boys ain't blue? Talking about a kid being raped with a dildo by another boy and a kid being forced to suck penis and all that kind of stuff. Y'all okay with that? That's what she for. The same woman who said, how dare you wish a motherfucker Merry Christmas. Right. Christmas? That's Jesus' birthday. And she telling y'all, how dare you wish a motherfucker Merry Christmas. Y'all okay with that? I'm just saying. That's my point in this. It's like y'all get so caught up in trying to be right and trying to say, yeah, this is what it is. This is how it go. And then y'all look and see, well, damn. And then when you see it in your face, you still deny it. When in all reality, like Nate Dogg said, you can't deny it. It's crazy that we have these things presented to us clear as day. And you motherfuckers still just say, fuck that. Nope. So then I put this up there, and this was hilarious. I get it. You hated him 4 years. I got this from my boy Mario too. You hated him 4 years and still do now. Despite the hate, he's a consistent winner and overachiever. Call it jealousy or envy. Some people can't handle his success and wealth. There have been scandals, lies, twisted truths, but he proves his haters wrong time and time again. You may have wanted him in this job, but there's nothing we can do about it. I know it might get worse over the next several weeks, but I like him. But like him or not, Tom Brady is doing a great job as a broadcaster. Very funny. I saw that and I laughed my ass off. Right? But then I get this. This is what you wanted. Keep in mind because you have a daughter and he's talking to you and her. Now, is this Donald Trump? Nope. This motherfucking Nick Fuentes talking about abortion. Like I really give a fuck about Nick Fuentes talking about abortion. Y'all ain't gonna get no abortion. He just going in, being a fucking troll. And said, this is who you voted for. And I'm like, I don't give a shit about that. And here's my thing about abortion. And I'm going to get to that. And then I'm going to go ahead and open up the lines. So this blew my mind here. And it just goes to show how, it just goes to show how when you look at this, he said, hey, you're a smart fellow. Just to show you how I love to have these conversations. He said, you're a smart fellow. Why do you think the devil has never been destroyed? Knowing all they said he's done. Keep your answer simple. So I replied back and I said, I believe that's a question for God. I can't destroy angels. And I know none of them, and I know of none that have ever been destroyed, only cast it out. Bow. I don't know. So that's beyond my scope and what I can do. But it's like the conversations that were had on here about this whole abortion thing. It was like people's telling me, so you want your daughter who could get raped and then she can't get an abortion. This is my problem with niggas. Y'all take the smallest thing and try to make it the biggest thing. Do you realize that it is like 5% of rapes? 5%, 5% of rapes result in abortion. Now, here's the thing with that. If you do get raped, then you have the ability to, if you file a police report and you go get your rape kit done, you know, one of the things they give you, it's a morning after pill. they give you a morning after pill. You get raped, you go to the police, they do your rape kit, they will give your ass a morning after pill. Just saying. So you get that. But let's just say you traumatized, whatever the case may be. Those 5% of people, fine, make that your argument. Make that your argument. But you know what you fucking whores want to do? You just want to kill babies, period. You like to have the power to take life. Y'all like it. So to go back and say, hey, I can be as sexually in today's world. Now, 50 years ago, we did not have the technology. We did not have the knowledge to be as sexually responsible as we should be today. In today's world, 95% of y'all are just sexually irresponsible. You hoes are raw dogging, you let niggas shoot up the club, and you niggas are sexually irresponsible to where y'all just shooting up the club and then what? Getting pregnant and you just go get scraped and keep on moving. Keep on moving, don't stop. No, keep on moving. That's what's happening. And y'all are fighting for that. If you really had just a little bit of morals and values, you would say, you know what? Let's not even get to the point to where there is a baby. Let's be sexually responsible and let's practice safe sex. Whether you on the pill, you get the 50 something different contraceptives that's out today. You hoes be getting pregnant and be damn near 9 months before you talking about, I ain't even know. You ain't had a period in 5 months. Half you motherfuckers don't even go to the fucking gynecologist. Let alone go when you think you pregnant. Half of you niggas don't go to the gynecologist for your 6-month checkup. Let alone going when you know you having unprotected sex. Do y'all see what the fuck just happened in Houston over the summer? They literally had an STD pandemic amongst who? Niggas. You niggas was fucking each other so much and passing so much shit to each other that it was at pandemic levels. The department, the public health department had to get involved. Like, will you niggas please stop fucking each other raw? That's what was happening. They were begging and pleading for niggas to please stop fucking raw. Y'all just doing way too much. Can y'all please stop it? That's how bad it was. So when you talking about, hey, we doing this and we doing that, we out here, we should have the right to do this, to have the right to do that. Look at the responsibility of you motherfuckers and what y'all doing to each other. And you talking about that's the hill you want to down? I want to go fight to be able to kill kids as opposed to just saying put on a condom, as opposed to just saying, you know what, let me not fuck 5 niggas this week. Let me just fuck this one. Now I got to have my sneaky link. Now this nigga gonna buy me a bag, this nigga gonna pay my phone bill, and then this nigga gonna pay my car note, and then this nigga gonna pay my insurance. Look, I gotta fuck 4 niggas this week. Then I got the ain't shit nigga with the big dick, I gotta fuck him. Cause hey, I mean, I'm just saying, and you know, latex break me out, so I gotta go raw. It's like, that's the motherfucking decision. That's what that 95% is doing. Listening to motherfucking Sexy Red talking about my pussy is pink, my booty hole is brown. I'm pregnant fucking my old baby daddy with my new baby daddy baby in me. That's what the fuck we're doing. And so that question was posed to me, what if your daughter get raped? I said, first of all, my daughter ain't gonna get raped. My daughter ain't gonna be no victim, and she's gonna know how to carry herself and protect herself out here in the world. And if in the event she does get raped and she does get pregnant, becomes one of them 5% motherfuckers, she got a daddy who got some money who'll take her wherever the fuck she needs to go to get an abortion if we gotta do that. But I know my daughter ain't gonna have to go through that. Because she ain't nowhere where she alone with a man that she don't fucking know. and that she don't want to sleep with. She ain't gonna be walking the streets at 2 in the morning and at 11 o'clock at night, leaving the club drunk with her girl. My daughter won't be doing that shit because she got a mama and a daddy that's raising her the fuck right. My daughter don't spend the night over at motherfuckers' houses. Talking about we having a girls' night, she a friend. My daughter ain't gonna be playing on no motherfucking basketball team where she get turned out by the basketball coach because the basketball coach eating pussy. My daughter ain't gonna get turned out to be fucking around with some motherfuckers that's twice her age and she just hanging out with them because they older and they like to have fun. She ain't gonna do that. My daughter's a fucking innocent motherfucking child. She's an innocent 11-year-old. She's fucking coloring and making fashion clothes in her book. My daughter's fucking playing, she ain't no flautist, but she playing the fucking flute in her marching band. That's what the fuck my daughter's doing. She not out in the streets popping her ass at a birthday party while her motherfucking her aunties and them talking about, get it, girl. My daughter don't have no fucking 22 inches of fucking yaki in her head talking about she cute. She don't have that shit and she won't have that shit. My daughter's fucking watching Lilo and Stitch, fucking cartoon. She not watching the, what's that shit with that stripper bitch? DDL for life. DDL for life. She ain't watching that shit. Learning how to be some little fast girl who don't do nothing but shake her ass and pop her pussy at 12 years old. She won't be one of them. And if for some goddamn reason I ain't around to take care of her ass, she got a motherfucking Uncle Easy who got money, who gonna take care of her motherfucking ass if I die or my wife die. So she good. I ain't got to worry about that. I'm not going to have them problems because I bust my ass every fucking day to make sure my daughter live in a neighborhood where there ain't no niggas riding up and down the street with no box Chevys trying to hit on my motherfucking daughter, and this nigga grown as fuck, but because he sell dope, he can entice her ass and get her some Jordans and then he and she ride in the car with him. She don't live in that kind of neighborhood. She live in a neighborhood where the kids literally can play in the motherfucking street because the motherfuckers come down the street on my fucking block. We all slow the fuck down because we like for our kids to play on the fucking street. My daughter lives in a neighborhood where they serve free hot chocolate on Halloween, goddammit. Free hot dogs on Halloween because they want everybody to have a good time. My daughter lives in a fucking neighborhood where they have the motherfucking big candy bars they passed out for Halloween, not them little motherfucking baby Twix. We get big candy bars around here, goddammit, because we got money over here. I bust my ass and I sacrifice to make sure that my daughter and my son lives in a fucking area where they don't have to worry about nobody shooting. My daughter don't know what the fuck it sounds like to hear gunshots in her neighborhood. That's the difference. So no, my daughter ain't got to worry about no nigga coming to pull her into no alley to rape her. No, my daughter ain't got to worry about no nigga at no school trying to motherfucking fuck on her and this nigga known to be the motherfucking neighborhood motherfucking Chester molester. She don't live in that neighborhood. I make sure of that. And not to mention, I got enough guns to go to war with any motherfucker that ever would try to pull some shit with my daughter. God motherfucking better help the nigga that harms a hair on her head because she got a motherfucking daddy that don't play. That's the difference. So no, I don't give a fuck about abortion laws. I don't give a fuck about giving motherfuckers the right to go kill babies. Bitch, close your legs. Bitch, take some motherfucking pills. Get married. How about that? Then you ain't got to worry about having no motherfucking abortion. Well, what about the ones who get medical emergency? Well, then that's what you go fight for. Other than that, no, you can't have one. And that's all I got to say about that. Now, let me go ahead and open up the lines because I done had to say I got my shit off. Now I'm going to let y'all say what y'all got to say, do what y'all got to do. Hold on here. Put this link in the chat and y'all can come on in and I can hear from y'all and what y'all think about this motherfucking election, what y'all think about what went on and how we go from here. Because my thing is this, I think that where we're at right now and where we're gonna be and where we're gonna move on to, it ain't gonna be fucking paradise. It ain't gonna be the promised land, but it's damn gonna be better. Damn sure gonna be better than what the fuck we in now. It's damn sure gonna be a better situation than what we in right now. So yes, I'm looking forward to us doing bigger and better things. Yes, I'm looking forward to the country getting put on a better track so that motherfuckers that are everyday working class Americans can actually have a good living and a good life and can do for their families. Because I think everybody should be able to have a neighborhood where their daughters and their sons can grow the fuck up and actually be fucking kids and can play outside and ain't got to worry about nobody fucking with them or nobody doing nothing to them. I wish we could be in a situation like that. I wish everybody could be in a situation like that. If you niggas would be more focused on motherfucking taking care of the neighborhood as opposed to just minding your own business like most of you motherfuckers do, then you would have a better life. You niggas won't even go tell on the dope dealer. You niggas won't even go and tell on your uncle that you know that fucked you and not fucking your cousin. Fucking your little sister, fucking on your little brother. Y'all won't even say shit about them. But you worried about Donald Trump being racist. Y'all don't get the fuck out of my face. Boy, y'all need to stop. That's all I'm saying. We got too much shit in our own backyard that we need to clean up before we go out here in these streets talking about what somebody else done did, what somebody else done said, and what somebody still talking about he gonna put us back in chains. Y'all don't even know how government works, and that's why they need to make it mandatory that you motherfuckers that's in these schools, y'all motherfuckers should have to take civics to know literally not just the three branches of government, but what the three branches of government do. Do y'all realize if Donald Trump, like them Democrats, lied to y'all talking about it'll never be another election again, he's gonna be a dictator? Do y'all realize that this motherfucker would have to have all of Congress? That means every state rep, he would have to have every senator, he would have to have all Supreme Court justices. They would all have to come together with their powers combined to create Captain Planet to where they all say, yeah, we're going to just keep Donald Trump here forever. Do you know how much that would take for them to do that? Do you know how many people that's in the Senate, how many people that's in the Supreme Court, and how many people that's in the fucking Congress don't ever want a motherfucker to be in charge of everything forever no more? Because they want to be in charge at some point. It would literally never happen. You know why? Because our forefathers wrote this shit the way that it could never happen. They wanted to make sure that we would never be another England. They wanted to make sure that we would always have our freedom and our rights, and we would always have a method and a way to protect them, which is why they wrote the First Amendment, so you can say what the fuck you want to say, and the Second Amendment, so that you can have a gun when a motherfucker try to tell you not to say it or you can't say it, that you can shoot him in the fucking face. That's the whole purpose of this shit. It's not about saying, oh, well, you know what he's going to do, and he's going to take this away. He's going to make it to where we can't do this. That's a bunch of stupid shit for you to even believe. Because the next question out your mouth should have been, well, how, man? When you hear them motherfuckers on The View, them cackling hag witches talking about what Donald Trump gonna do and how he gonna destroy democracy, you should have been like, how? As opposed to saying, yeah, he is. He sure is. You should have been like, what? He gonna do what? Bitch, how? Whoopi, tell me how this motherfucker's gonna take over the fucking country forever. Those are the kind of things that people just went and bought hook, line, and sinker and didn't even think for 1 second to just question it and say, well, wait a minute. You notice how all of a sudden, after Donald Trump won, ain't nobody calling him Hitler no more? Did you notice that? All you Democrats, did y'all notice that? Ain't nobody calling him Hitler. Ain't nobody calling him a dictator. You got Joe Biden welcoming this nigga, shaking this nigga hand, talking about congratulations, boss. World is yours now, Tony. You got motherfucking world leaders talking about, yeah, we gonna chill this shit out, Trump, man. You come holler at us in a couple of weeks, let us know what you gonna do, what you thinking. You get all these people now who were calling this dude all this shit, saying he's evil reincarnate, he's the devil, he's Hitler, he's gonna destroy our democracy. They all quiet as hell. Where the fuck is Nancy Pelosi at now? She's talking about Biden. Biden's the one reason why we lost. They all sitting now cannibalizing each other. Talking about she the reason why we lost. No, he the reason. No, it was because he didn't do this. Oh no, it was because of her. See, because she. That's what they all doing now. And you know why they doing that? Because somebody's saying, hey man, we spent $1.2 billion and don't nobody know nothing. They got that Nino Brown shit happening now. Don't nobody know nothing. Keisha, dead. Dunner man, dead. $1 billion a week, $1 million a week business reduced to fucking rubble. And a motherfucker sitting back saying, well, Nancy, had you been minding your business and, watching Kamala, we would, and Kamala like, sit your $5 ass down before I make change. Say what? What? Say it. Go ahead and say it. Keep talking. That's what they doing now. They're eating each other alive. Go ahead, Dion. What's up, brother?
Hey, what's going on, Brian?
Not much, man. What you got for us?
Well, my thing is, man, I heard you on the civics thing, man, but I'm gonna go a little bit deeper because it appears that all of our problems are surrounded by people that are just ignorant and stupid. There should be some type of IQ test. Everybody should not be able to vote, and they got to start eliminating. I hate to say it like this, but if your ass is on like some public assistance and welfare, just don't let them vote. Don't let them vote. I wouldn't be mad if America. I would like to see the next couple of elections that all white people just vote for a Republican white candidate, just to shove it up black people's ass and say it. For the time being, as long as y'all remain stupid, we're gonna treat you like you stupid because we just do some stupid shit. I mean, you think about it, man. Like for instance, black women are destroying the black community and trying to destroy America. Don't get me wrong. I get it with the liberal whites and everything. I get that. But when it comes to black people, we the ones that suffer the most, that's been at the bottom, and we continue to do stupid shit. Even our black men, if you look at black men, for the most part, when you ask them, man, why you voting Democrat? They gonna tell you over some bitch. Oh, we gotta protect the women. We gotta do this for the women. Like it ain't never no shit that really stands for anything. So to me, if women are causing this much fucking problems, maybe the women shouldn't be able to vote. If it's called, and I'm not trying to be mean. I'm just saying, how many issues can be resolved? I mean, imagine if we had an America where women did not have the right to vote. Instead, they had to go to their husbands and give them their grievances of what they're looking for, and then we voted for the family.
So I partially agree with you because the problem is it's not so much of women not being able to vote. It's the fact that these women who are not man-led, who do not understand the way, the natural order of life, that's the problem. And it's just like when you have a kid that is raised out in the wild, they don't have and adhere to or understand the social norms. So that's why they will eat with their hands as opposed to using a fork. They will eat with their hands as opposed to using a spoon. They will cup their hands and drink water as opposed to using a cup or glass. They literally have been raised without the leadership of men. And no matter what somebody say, like it or not, that is the natural order of things. Right. Men are supposed to lead.
Yep, because Brian, you know this to be true. We know that men do a lot of stupid shit. But if you ever been around a lot of men, whether you played in sports or at the job, wherever in society you're around a lot of men, when it's just men, somehow we figure out where the cream is. The cream will rise to the top and we will check somebody. Like if you're around a bunch of guys at work and someone does something straight foul, they got to answer to them other men. We make them accountable for what the fuck they did. And that does not happen when you bring you bring women in. It doesn't happen. It's like, You can't check her because she's a female. If it's like me being a police officer, man, I don't know how many times when I done got chewed out by a senior officer for some shit that could have got him injured. And then I picked that same mentality up and I was chewing people out, but none of us can say anything to this woman. Can't say nothing to him. And I'm like I said, it's so much easier. It's not saying that men are perfect. They are far from perfect. It just so happens that men don't have a problem with checking other men.
And that's because we've been raised like that. Men, I mean, young boys all the way through manhood, men are always held accountable and responsible for their actions at some point or another in their life. Men are taught to lose. Men are taught, hey, if you do this, these are the consequences that you have to pay for that. That's why so many young men wind up in jail, because they've been raised by women, a group of people who are not held accountable, who are not held responsible for their actions. And those young boys pick up those traits. And when they get out in the real world and they do some stupid shit and they're held accountable, they don't understand it and they are fucking lost, because the world will hold you accountable at one point or another. We make allowances for women all the time. That's why you hear things like protect black women, protect the women. Why? Because they are the weaker vessel. And to a degree, we are supposed to protect them. But we're supposed to protect the children first. I don't know why people always have this thing where it's like protect women and children. No, protect the children and then protect the women. That's how that shit's supposed to go.
And that's how it goes when it comes to just like this voting shit. It's like I don't know if it was you or Tommy said the Democrat Party is for women because, okay, so you put Meg Thee Stallion, you get the Cardi B's, all you're doing is popping ass and you trying to sexualize us. You're trying to sexualize us. When it comes down to it, yeah, men love sex, but we know how to separate, like, hey, man, this is about my job, my money, and my bills. When it comes to that shit does not appeal to us on a campaign thing when you get your booty to the polls. I mean, when you put women in front of us to try to get our vote, doing something with the sex thing, that shit don't come up. It doesn't appeal to us. That doesn't register with us. But when you got the Republicans, they get accused of saying things like pull yourself up by the bootstraps. That's saying be accountable for your bullshit. Be accountable for your own job, your own family. We resonate with that. We can get down with that. But it's hard. It's hard for me. I don't understand how anybody can have anything to say good. I mean, you can talk about Donald Trump all day. And you say, dude, do you want to live in a world with Donald Trump? If we just took all the conservatives and Republicans and put them on one half of the United States and put you motherfuckers, Democrats on the other half, you know damn well your same family members who are talking cash shit about voting for Kamala will be like, I don't want to live over there like that. Like, that shit's dysfunctional. It is the Democrat Party runs a dysfunctional government, man. That's what the problem is. I don't know why anybody will want to have anything to do. Like, you do shit like you talk about reproductive rights. The word reproductive makes you think you're reproducing. You talking about reproductive, you talking about this killing kids. It don't make no sense. It's like Planned Parenthood. You ain't planning to be a parent. You planning on killing kids. That shit don't register to us, man.
But see, the thing is this, though, when you look at that and when you hear those words and those phrases being used, all it does, and the reason why they go for it, is because it empowers them to do what they want to do.
Yep.
That's all it does. And
that's being held accountable. It takes away accountability.
Exactly. That's all I want to do what I want to do. And if it don't work out, I still want a safety net. I still want to be safe. That's just like how when you talking about why our relationships are so fucked up. When you look at black folks and how we are behaving in our relationships, you got a bunch of motherfuckers that are whores. You got sexual irresponsibility all throughout our prime years. And then when a motherfucker hit 45, now they got some sense and they want to settle down and try to be a husband or try to be a wife, when in fact you fucked over all of those years out in the streets, riding the cock carousel. And now you want to be taken care of because you find yourself getting older, you find yourself getting less attention from men, and you find yourself being in a situation where I ain't gonna be able to take care of myself. I keep this up because I ain't got no 401k. I ain't got no Roth IRA. I don't have no fucking medical insurance. I'm gonna be out here on motherfucking public assistance. All my kids is grown. I can't do nothing for them. So I need somebody to do something for me. I've been out here fucking and sucking all these years. Yeah, I got some bags and a couple of red pairs of red bottoms, but that's it. I don't even have a fucking house. I'm paying rent still, and I'm 50.
Yep. Yeah, it just doesn't make no sense, man. I was watching them do the little breakdown of the demographics that did the voting, and I think with the black women it was like 88% voted for Kamala, and it was like they gave this number with black men. It was like somewhere between 23% and 25% voted for Trump, right? And I'm sitting there thinking, I'm like, well, if you got 25% of black men that are voting for Trump, you can talk all that bullshit you want to, but at the end of the day, those are probably brothers that are conservative brothers who just want to think logically. They want to lead their household. They don't want their kids going to a school that's trying to tell them little Johnny could be little Susie and shit like that. Now, if it ain't but 25% of us thinking that way, we ain't got too much. I mean, if 88% of our women are down with the Kamala shit and they down with the Meg Thee Stallion and the Cardi B type shit, we don't have too many options out there when they get to complaining about why y'all don't want to date a black woman. There ain't no man, I don't care, well, I don't, but I don't know too many men that want to be in a household where we are in total disagreement on what's in the best interest for our family.
It's out of order. It's just out of order. It's like those women. That's why they're only 24% of them are married. That's right.
But that's what I was. Yeah, I was trying to say. If you look at the way they vote, and you match it up with how we're not married, they kind of marry each other. They match up like okay.
Because those black women, there were women. We're talking about the higher educated women, women that got college degrees. They literally was saying shit like this, and then I'm gonna go to my man Anthony T. Biz. They were saying shit like this. I'm gonna vote for her because she's an AKA. That's it. Not because of her policies, not because of she's an AKA. That's just like me saying I'm gonna vote for Barack Obama because he a vice lord. I'm gonna vote for motherfucking I'm gonna vote for Tim Walz because he a BD.
Right.
Like you ain't even from my set. And you talking, I'm voting for you just because we in the same game. You a crip, nigga? I'm gonna vote for you. It just goes to show you how even the people that are so-called highly educated are stupid in a motherfucker because they are willing to cast their vote and put their lives in the hands of someone that they don't even know just because they in the same motherfucking sorority. Not even in the same chapter, not my line sister, not we went to college together, we was at HU together, none of that. Bitch went to motherfucking school down in Florida and became an AKA, and she gonna vote for this chick who's an AKA all the way up in Washington, D.C. Ain't never met, ain't never talked, don't know shit about her. But because we in the same sorority, girl, I gotta vote for her.
That's right. Before you go to the other gentleman, I just want to know, will you and Tommy get together and do a show on, if you get a chance, on Trump's 10 points that he was talking about that he wants to do? He named like 10 different things, and the 10th thing was he was going to ask Congress to have term limits. And I know it's a far-fetched idea, but he wanted term limits for Congress. But if you just go over like all 10 of those points that he named, I was hoping that maybe you and Tommy would do a little breakdown and just discuss each point that Trump laid out.
Send it to me so I can make sure I get what you're talking about, and then definitely I'll do that. Yep.
Okay.
Go ahead, my man Anthony T. Biz. What's up, brother?
What's going on, man?
What's happening, Captain?
What are your thoughts, man? Not much. No, just listen to the conversation, man, real briefly. Yeah, this is first thing first. I can't wait to see how the trigger get pulled at the beginning of the year. If it goes down if it goes down as it was dictated to go down, a lot of people's lives are going to be severely changed because a lot of people aren't used to working in a totally will be considered a limited government free society. They're just not. There's a statement that goes that freedom without responsibility leads to anarchy. And anarchy by default will always lead to tyranny. And the reason why is because anarchy must be quelled. It must be stopped because of the destruction that it will be. And so you will have people that will, quote unquote, step up to the plate that will then seek to, what people hate to really talk about, is to enslave folks. That's what it really comes down to. And so all of these things, and people will vote how they have been indoctrinated to vote. And that's what you saw. A lot of this whole term, a lot of things that they push, the intersectionality, a lot of things that they push with the pieces in regards to everything from race to gender or non-gender or whatever they want to call it and everything else. They try to appeal to the emotional state of people and also set portions of things in regards to making the populace fear the unknown, right? It's not like you didn't just have 4 years of this dude prior to all of this crap happening, whereby he went in and gave us one of the best economies since, I mean, my gosh, since early 50s. You could probably say.
Right.
So
and let me pause right there, just so because you just made a great point. So people have been using this thing lately. Well, the economy that Donald Trump got was Obama's economy. Let me give you that. I'm going to concede that. However, he made it even better with the policy changes that he made, the deregulations that he did, making us more energy dominant as an independent, as opposed to buying our oil for other places that Obama didn't do. That whole drill, baby drill concept, he made it better. So either way you look at it, regardless of what he may have inherited or didn't inherit from Obama, he still improved upon the economy to record highs. So all of y'all that keep saying that Obama thing, you can stop it. Yes, he got some of it, but he took it and made it better. He took it from a 4-cylinder and made it an 8-cylinder. So we can just stop with that lie of just trying to say Obama put all of this in the work for us when he didn't. It's a bunch of BS.
I would agree with that. And mainly, if you want to say that, then you can say Obama got it from Bush, who by default got it from Clinton, who default got it from Bush, who default got it from
and
Reagan.
he would go on and on.
Go on
exactly.
and on. The fact of the matter is, to your point, no one, he even though every economy is inherited, is what is done with, to your point, what is done within that economy makes the change, right? At no point in time, you got to remember, during the time of even quote unquote senior Bush and his we're going into a new world order and started pushing the aspects of a globalist society, they literally went to quote unquote taking out all of the things in regards to oil and gas and energy independence and stuff like that. They had already started doing that in the name of climate change and reducing carbon footprints, even as far back as early 90s, right? And so as these things start to go through and they start to kick in, yeah, you're going to inherit certain things, and certain things are going to be fine. But at no point in time did any of those previous presidents want energy independence. They didn't. They did not want energy independence. And because they did not want it, that's why we were paying dollar. When you go back and look, when we first started doing the whole OPEC and we're going to join up and get gas and everything else from the Saudis and everything else. And even if you go back into the 70s, we go off of the gold standard, we go to the petrodollar, right? Because that's all we made the deal with the Saudi Arabians, that's all that they would accept. And that lasted until last year, or excuse me, I'm sorry, earlier this year in July, before they said, yeah, we'll accept all currency now because our economy was jacked and our dollar was worth crap. So prior to then, they went from a gold standard to an oil standard based on the petrodollar. And that's one of the reasons why we were not energy independent. That's why gas went from 70 cents a gallon, like it was in the 80s, early 80s, going into early to mid 80s, And then it went down, it went up to $1 by the time the 90s kicked off. And then what do we see when we get into late Bush, early Clinton? $1.50, almost $2, right?
Yep.
People don't understand how that affects not only the supply chain and how things are transported, everything over rail, everything that's over the main 18-wheeler trucks.
Yep. Shout out to all my truckers out there.
Boats.
Yep.
Even when it comes
all
down
of
to
that.
Boats, everybody don't understand the amount of cost that now increases for all your goods and services. So
and as always, what people also don't realize is that anytime that there's an uptick in those kinds of costs, they are never, ever absorbed by the corporation. They are, or the business. They are always past that. They will always pass that cost on to the customer, period. Exactly. So that whole price gouging thing, it's a bunch of bullshit. Y'all raise the price of energy, I'm going to raise the price of my chicken. Y'all raise the price of energy, I'm going to raise the price of my eggs. I'm going to raise the price of my bacon. I'm going to raise the price of my orange juice. That's how it works, period. There is no other way around it. And trying to get the government to regulate that, you're asking for even more trouble because the greater majority of politicians are bought and paid for.
Yeah, exactly. And to that point also, you start talking about not only the supply, but you figure out that the government is now paying people not to grow things, paying people not to have specific animals and curbing out, paying farmers to literally leave their land fallow, so that for the simple fact is you now don't have a surplus of goods, because right now a lot of the farmers, what most people don't understand, you can go all over Ohio right now. You know what they're growing? Soybean.
Yep.
And corn. You know where it goes?
Yep.
China.
Yep.
It goes to China. Why does it go to China? We don't eat a lot of soybeans here. Soybeans is where they do all of their tofu and all this other stuff. Well, China has problems right now being able to grow things. That's why China is here buying land. They're here buying farmland. And what people keep forgetting is that we were paying. You can go back, you can go look on YouTube and watch where they literally taped and showing farmers destroying acres upon acres upon acres of potatoes and just burying them in pits and everything else. But wait a minute. I thought you told me that we got children going hungry and they can't have they got to have food during the summer because they can't eat and they don't know how to have all of this quote unquote. But you know, we're at a deficit and we got children starving, we got homeless starving and everything else. But you're burying acres and acres and acres of food, and you're destroying acres. You're destroying herds of cattle, and you're destroying herd. Wait, which one is it? Which one is it? But then when you find out a lot of the things, people sit up there, and one of the things I would love to see it go into play. I would love to see it go into play, and I would be cheering it on from the sidelines, because people don't understand how things used to be. So when you look at Trump saying, well, we're going to just tariff everybody. Okay, tariff them. Good. Do it. 200%.
And then I'll say this before I let my man Kango get on. When you talking about that tariff thing and they're saying like, well, it's going to raise the prices for us. It's like, well, the thing is this. I would rather us go through a period to where those prices may get raised and we may have trouble getting some things, because the market is going to win out at the end of the day. Because if China is making a bathroom floor mat that's selling for $20, but because we got a 200% tariff on it, it's now $60. And then if we got somebody here in good old USA that starts making that same bath mat, and they can sell it for $20 instead of the $19 that they were selling it for, and it's a couple of dollars more if it's $22, so be it. I'll buy the one that's $22 that's made here in America, because I know that that's going towards American businesses, American jobs that are going to help stimulate the American economy. So yes, I'll pay a few dollars more to an American company than I would pay to a company in China to save $3. So if that's the road we got to go now, so be it. That's just what it is. Go ahead and wrap up.
But to your point, even on that, even to your point, even if we tariff everybody, because you got to remember that there's a lot of countries, even in Europe, even in China, even in Japan, they don't let our stuff go over there to be sold.
Like in Germany.
Yeah, exactly. That we can't. You will never find a Ford truck.
Ain't no Escalades. Yep. Ain't no Escalades in Germany. Ain't no Tahoes in Germany. Nope. Ain't no Corvettes in Germany. No, sir.
It ain't.
Why is that? But we steadily buying Benzes. We steadily getting G-Wagons. We steadily getting 600s. We steadily getting E-Classes. But ain't no Chevys over there. Exactly. And we okay with that? There's no way.
And to that last point, not only that, but here's the deal. If you go back and you look at how we used to do things, it was tariffs. But guess what we didn't have? Income tax. So if the tariffs take away my income tax, I am 100% behind.
I'm for it. Let's do it.
Just go ahead and yes, put the bullet in collecting of income tax. Let it be what it was. It was what it was for what it is. Kill it, get rid of it, and let the tariffs set the standards on how we get money. Not only get it globally, but it would also free up the lower the economy. All you have to know is just know the economics of it.
Yeah. Go ahead, brother Kango.
Man, hey, he bringing up some good points, man. How you doing, though, bro?
I'm living life, baby. Taking it as it comes, man.
Definitely. And I didn't get the chance to tell you, but happy late anniversary for real. You know what I'm saying? Like, hey, that's a beautiful thing, bro. For real. Yes, man. What I was gonna say about this though, like, I mean, they talk about the economy and all that. Hey, we can't talk about that without mentioning the fact that dude brought all the jobs back from overseas. Everybody was taking their stuff way overseas. So when you talk about stuff getting shipped from China or shipped from this place and shipped from that place, and then all them tariffs have to be paid, and then the prices being raised because of the tariffs, man, them was American companies that went overseas that was making that bread off of that, bro. Like it's too much that's going on when it boiled down to it. And then I'm looking at, man, I mean, I don't know if y'all heard about it, but the Department of Government Efficiency, dude, they took the name Doge and made it into a dude. They
from that
you talking about
yes,
sir. You talking about look at what Bitcoin did, and it is nothing named after Bitcoin. So like I'm looking at Dogecoin, and you know, Elon was one of the biggest promoters of Dogecoin, right? And then what is he doing? He got a department right now that's headed by Elon Musk and Vivek Ramaswamy. Right. And what they're going to do is they're going to check all these different government agencies, government departments, whatever the case may be, and find out what they were doing with that money. You had did a video about 4 years ago when Donald Trump was trying to tell everybody what they was going to be doing with that money for the stimulus. He did not approve. He wanted the American people to have the stimuluses, but he did not approve that big old bill. That you get what I'm saying? Like
they call it
right. They made trillions. Dude, listen, I was watching your video. I love numbers, y'all. Listen, I was watching your video, and I was thinking about how much the American people were supposed to get. Like it was like $1,200 for the adults and like $600 for the kids. So I did the math on my calculator with 353 million people in America, right? And multiplied that by what we were supposed to get versus the amount that stimulus bill was supposed to get, right? You know, dude, it was trillions left over. We didn't even really touch 1 trillion at all. It was like 10 billion or something like that. So, dude, that all that extra money. Then inside the video, Trump was saying they're sending $100 billion over for gender research. And look at what that did. Like they came in.
It was $20 million that they sent to Pakistan alone for transgender research. When the fuck did Pakistan start doing transgender research? And why the fuck would we pay for it? What the fuck do we have to do with Pakistan and their research?
But I can tell you what they did.
Check out the video with Rand Paul. He sits there and reads out everything that they have spent the money on for that quote unquote calendar budget year.
I did
right. Yeah. But wait though, if you look at what was the transgender research, like if you look at America and what was happening in America, like dude, it was like a population control thing going on. You know what I'm saying? Like they did their best to put it in people's minds, the young people minds especially. Hey, if you're confused about what gender you are, dude, hey, toughen up. You know what I'm saying? Like, hey, sometimes as a man, life gonna hit you on the chin. And then let's just say black women didn't make it no better. They were the ones that was actually like, I'm okay with it. Girl, you this, such and such and that. It wasn't until like the fourth or the third year into it when they started finally calling them cisgender, and they called them breastfeeders, or they called them, you know, all kinds of different names like that, man. Like everything finally made them wake up, but it's already too late. You was too accepting from the beginning. Sometimes it's about the conservative measures that we take to make sure that America still remains a great place. And you talk about those third world countries that they sending money to for gender research. Dude, I can reinforce that and back that. Them people are known for cutting your hand off if you steal. So what do you think they're going to do to you? They probably stone you to death over there still if you're talking about you being gay.
Yeah.
Or
so no, you ain't even got to take it that far, bro. Yeah. Here's what they did. It's literally a money laundering operation.
Absolutely.
Think about it. How many people in Pakistan give a fuck about transgender research? None of them do.
They don't.
However,
right.
If I know my boy over in Pakistan, if my boy Easy is over in Pakistan, and we gonna send $20 billion over to him for his consulting work that he's gonna do on transgender research in Pakistan, I'm gonna send that 20 million over to him. He gonna take 10, and I'm gonna take 10. And it's going to come right back to me because I'm going to consult for his company, and it's just going to be the two of us making this money. We're going to walk away with 10 billion. You do that and multiply that to all of these other countries because there's no regulation on the spending of these dollars once these countries get it. We send money to Colombia, Mexico, Germany. We send money over to them all the time. There's nobody doing the checks and balances for that money once they get it. We don't know what they're doing with it or how they're spending it. And it's all makes sense. So why would we not give a fuck? Because we're laundering the money. We're taking the government tax dollars, giving it to our people overseas. Those people are then in turn cutting a check to our friends who's kicking that money back up to me, just like the Hunter Biden scandal. It's the same goddamn thing. They're just doing it on a global scale. So if you got a shop over here, well, that's what you do over in Pakistan. You got one over in Haiti. You got one over wherever else out the country, out the world. That's how you get that money. Why is it that BlackRock is now gonna rebuild Ukraine?
Ukraine,
get that contract. Why are we gonna take $200 billion to send over to Ukraine? What the fuck do you think they're gonna do with that money that they're gonna give it to BlackRock? BlackRock gonna pay off some people. We don't have a time frame. We don't know what they building back. We ain't got no oversight to see if they building it back. It could take them motherfuckers 70 years to rebuild that shit, and we wouldn't know. But 200 billion is gone. We know that much.
You know, one more thing too. He was talking about all those different regimes that you inherited from the past president. What I wanted to mention on that, if you paid attention to each one of the presidents, period, every 4 years that we had to go through a presidency, or 8 years, depending on who it was, the life was about what they was about. It's like George W. Bush, right? He had Dick Cheney as his vice president. Okay, Dick Cheney is Halliburton, 100%. George Bush, if you go down there to that part of Texas that they from, right? I can't think of it, Midland, Odessa area. If you go out there where they from, all you see is oil. That's all you see. So at the end of the day, they was like, hey, man, you know what we're going to do? We're going to go over here, get this oil from it, make them give it to us. We're going to go over there and fight with them so we can get that oil for pennies on the dollar. And if you notice, when the price that they was getting for the oil went down, the violence decreased too. You had more of us just over there. Most of our reserve people, they were going over there, and they'll tell you about it. They like, man, you know, it ain't really no war, nothing going on, but they got to talk about how they was living. They talked about people with troughs of water, or the water trough that they built, and how up top you doing stuff with food, or no, up top you washing yourself. The next layer, you might be doing something with food. The next layer, you might be washing your clothes. The next layer, you get where I'm coming from? So at the end of the day, it's like these people were living like that, and we were taking their oil and we were selling it over here for the high price. When 9/11 happened, I don't know if y'all remember this, but like the day of 9/11, that first week, gas went up to like $5 a gallon. $5 a gallon for that first week. Then it plummeted back down, but it was still higher than any price we'd ever seen. But every regime has always been about, every administration has always been about what they about. Like Obama, that's where all the weird stuff coming out, like about Michelle Obama being a weird gender or whatever. You know what I'm saying? Like, and then you think about what he had going on. Everything he did was for LGBTQ. That's we say
it's just serving. It's just serving the agenda. That's all it is. You
Absolutely.
got your military industrial complex. You got these people that are in these positions because they're there forever and they got their own system set up. You want to get in, you're gonna play ball, you're gonna feed me, feed this person, feed that person. That's what you do. And once it's all done, by the time anybody get any wind of it, hey, it's a new president coming in, and we're gonna do it all over again. And y'all ain't gonna say nothing because we're gonna make y'all feel good. We're gonna talk good to y'all, stroke y'all egos, and that's how we're gonna go. Go ahead
and double down with it. Oh, my bad. But last thing, but to double down with it, then they fix us up with propaganda for all 4 of them years. Where the weak-minded people or the people that's liberal or progressive, they go on with it. Like, yeah, we need to be doing this or we need to be doing that. It's just so weird how it go, man. That's all I got, man. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna leave it there.
For sure. Appreciate you, bro. My brother Eric James. Go ahead, Mr. James.
How you doing, B? Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you, Doc. Go ahead. Floor is yours.
Hey, we're gonna do the Love Fest and Messenger, man. But I love you and I miss you more than I can say. Hey, listen. I don't want to derail the conversation. I just want to, if I can, coalesce some points that everyone has alluded to or said outright before me. My biggest takeaway be on this election is that it was a referendum on identity politics. We had so many groups that defined and redefined themselves ad infinitum that they did not hold up to the myriad people that you can define any kind of way that lean toward nationalism. And I think that was a beautiful thing. There were a lot of people that I talked to. It's all anecdotal, of course. I can't tell you how many and percentages, but there were quite a few people that looked like everyone on this panel and beyond that voted based on what they thought was best for the nation. That was a beautiful thing. And I also think, hopefully, if some of these groups or some of these subgroups humble themselves, they will realize that it is important to think how you want in a free society. And maybe everyone doesn't think like you. Maybe everyone doesn't support your special interest group. And I just did some. Huh?
And that being okay. The fact that everybody don't think like you, that's okay. It's all right. Yeah.
But if you make up 0.8% of the populace, the math won't math if over 50% of people vote for your special interest. I just did some research before this forum, and I lost count at 473 special interest groups, and I still had quite a few to go. Not all special interest groups are bad. Some exist for a reason, like United Auto Workers, right? That's a special interest group. There's some PACs that are necessary. There's some special interest groups that are arguably archaic. I know I might get in trouble for this. NAACP, National Association of Women. Those are archaic, but they still stand. What I think some people have confused, B, and y'all can chime in on this, is their special interest may not be a group. Okay? If you don't hold political sway, if you can be popular, you can be in commercials, people can dance and rally around your special interest. But if the math don't math, it don't math. I just pray that some of these people that are part of special interest groups, which by the way, you're important, I'm not discounting you, will realize that maybe they need to stop doing a micro identity and a macro identity will probably help them more. Look at yourself as an American. Look, this is the last thing I'm gonna say. I promise. I can redefine myself ad infinitum. I am a Black, 100% disabled American veteran. Now, if I wanted to attack each one of those and say, well, what's best for Black people, or what's best for disabled people, or what's best for American people, and it flies in the face of what's best for the nation, I may need to mature and broaden some of my interests. You know, and I think I'm just gonna be real positive. I used to be a cynic. I'm almost 58. I'm getting cynical, but I'm praying that what will happen is what happened with my daughter. My daughter she's now 26. At 22, 23, she was Black Lives Matter. 24, she said, I don't know, Candace Owens is starting to make some sense to me. At 24, she said, you know what, Pop, I ain't got a problem with the blue. Talking about police. This election, she almost ran my wife and me out the car, telling us stuff about Kamala Harris and the research. And she's still a young woman. She's still Black. She's disabled. She has multiple sclerosis. But she's thinking about the nation.
Yeah.
For Christ's sake, the nation. So I'm going to leave it at that. I mean, people can comment or chime in as they want. I'm just going to mute B.
And you know what one of the big differences about that is that, and I'm just going to say it, when it all boils down to just getting to the nit and grit of it, she got a daddy, bro.
Amen.
And that matters. That means so much, because it's like some of the biggest just cornerstones of who I am as a person comes from my daddy. Amen. The decisions I made in my life in the past, and the decisions that I make now are all based on the foundation of who my daddy was, and who my daddy, what he deposited in me. That matters. And it's like she's able to evolve.
Amen.
Because she had a daddy.
And it was tough going. It was tough going. I will say to every conservative parent, because I voted my values, and that's a whole nother conversation. And we don't talk about values anymore. When she saw me consistent in my values, and I could constantly point to a constant, she then had to look at the constants that I pointed to. Like if I constantly say, well, the reason I treat your mother this way is because of the Bible. She said, well, what's in the Bible? You know, and then she constantly heard me saying, well, the reason I feel this way about the nation is because of this. She had to look at it. Or she could reject it. But she decided to look at the facts. She's a 26-year-old Black female. And trust me, she ain't no unicorn, brother.
Yeah. Yep, they are. And it's like, those are the things that I'm telling you, people try to negate it, and our society makes it look small, but it's so important. It's like, I look at the role that I play in the house. I know that my role and my job in the house, I'm the thermostat. I set the temperature. I set the tone. I'm the fairest motherfucker in my house, and everybody knows it. So when I make a decision, when I stop and call everybody together and say, hold on, what the fuck is happening? Everybody knows, here comes the judge, and they know that I'm going to be fair. Wife, kids, everybody else involved knows who I am and what it is I do and how consistent I am in that. And when your ass is wrong, you're wrong. But when you're right, I'm with you and you're right.
And I'm glad that you used the thermostat analogy, because I've said that before. Men in particular are not to be thermometers in their house. They're supposed to be thermostats. You ain't supposed to be telling the temperature. You're supposed to be setting the temperature.
That's right. That's what I'll make it hot or cold in this motherfucker.
That's right. And you know what? It goes back to tolerance, and we forget. I'm a novice etymologist. The word tolerance stems from the word tolare, which means to bear. You can only bear so much.
So much.
And so as a man, you have to tolerate your house. You have to say what we can bear in this house. Not be tolerant and say we accept everything, which is a misdefinition of the word, or a neo-definition of the word. Tolerate, set that tone. Set it.
Exactly.
Let me
let
me
say one more thing before I go to my brother Eric, my brother Easy. So one of the things that and just to highlight that point, I remember when my son was like maybe 1.5 years old or something like that. And, you know, he's a kid, he's a baby toddler. He threw a hissy fit. I mean, was just crying and whining. He was like, just one of them flat out. And I came, and I was like, and I was upstairs. I was in another room or something. I came in the kitchen. I said, what the hell is going on? And he's doing this and he's doing that. And yeah, I tried to tell him this, and he just started screaming and yelling. I said, hold on. I said, boy, shut up. I said, quiet down right now. And she was like, well, what are you like? I said, stop it. And I popped him. And I did that because I said, we will not let a 1-year-old attitude control the temperature in this house. He will not run this house with his emotions. And many times you see single mothers or parents that aren't qualified to raise kids, you will see them let that kid have a fucking fit and everybody will accommodate and acquiesce to that kid. Just do something to stop him from crying. Just do whatever you gotta, give him whatever you want to make it. I ain't that daddy. Just give it to him. Tell him to stop. Nope. What are you doing? And if you wrong, your ass is really in trouble. Don't you dare bend the will of this house and the temperature of this house to a fucking 1-year-old. Because you'll keep doing it and you'll be out at Walmart, you'll be at Costco, and you'll be doing the same shit and everybody will be looking. So I definitely agree with that 1,000%. Go ahead, Easy. What you got for us?
Everything you're saying is values-based. I'm going to shut up. Everything you're saying is values-based.
Yep.
Hey, man, I'm going to say this. I've been over Brian's house plenty of times, spent the night plenty of times. And I just want to say that when he talks, like, I'm a grown ass man and I got my own daddy. But when he get ready to talk to those kids, for any small thing that's taking place in there, any discrepancy, man, you better get out that man way. I be want to tell the kids, like, whisper to them, like, hey, you gotta chill, cause he gonna get you. And Uncle Easy gonna want to go home if you don't chill out, man. You got to chill out. So I want to let you know he is not lying.
Sit up a little, Easy, tell the truth. He raised his voice. You sit up a little straight too, don't you?
Listen, man, I want to, man, when he raised his voice, I be want to say, hey, I told him he could sit right here. He do this. Now, he didn't told me and my nephew, y'all making too much noise. I'm a grown ass man. I be like, hey, nephew, we gotta simmer down just a little bit. He said we're making too much noise. So I just want to let you know he ain't wrong about what he's saying. He's not lying about that. That's definitely who he is.
Will he have hooked that up?
Definitely who he is, man. 100%. That's man. Now to move on in our conversation, what I've noticed with this election has taught me, if you had told me 2 weeks ago that mind control was a thing, I would be like, you're lying. That's not how this works. That's some TV shit. It doesn't work. But clearly the left side has embraced this mind control, and I don't have a problem with the differences in opinions, because we all have differences in opinions. We're adults and we're supposed to have differences in opinions so we can discuss things and have conversation around those things. What I've noticed is that a lot of the leftist people, a lot of black people, especially a lot of older people like Brian and a few of you mentioned earlier, they're stuck in their ways. And instead of actually researching stuff and looking at stuff, they're just constantly pounding this same narrative. That's been my biggest issue in this entire election and the entire 4 years, is that they don't even do the due diligence of looking into things and looking at the world as a whole instead of your tiny bit of neighborhood that you live in. Like, I talk to my father and I talk to his friends all the time, and it's the same rhetoric. It's the same thing over and over and over again. White man bad, racist. And I'm like, man, that's the least of our worries. The president being racist means what? So let's say he is racist. What does that mean for you? What laws has been passed where they say only whites can partake in this law? You blacks can't do that. So I've never seen that. So tell me when that has happened. Yeah, what they did on January 6th, man, that's crazy. Man, most of you black people don't even know where the Capitol is or what its purpose is. You're talking about the same black people that don't stand for the national anthem, the same black people that kneel, the same black people that be like, Thanksgiving ain't the happy indigenous people day. You're talking about the same people. Y'all worried about January 6th, but you weren't worried when the youth were tearing up your cities. Like, make it make sense. That's all I'm saying, is that I don't understand people's non-ability to explain their position. You can have whatever position you want, but be able to explain it if you're willing to drive on someone else or hold someone else accountable for their vote. So, like, as black people, intelligent ones like myself and Brian and you others, it's some family members you can't even tell that you voted Trump for because they're going to get on your ass. You voted for Trump. Oh, man, you against women. Man, bro, okay, I voted for Trump, so tell me why you would have voted for the other. I mean, the other, she black, so I mean, they're going to do stuff for us. Okay, she black. What? Aside from her being fake black, what did she say she was going to do for you? Man, you tripping. Like, what? Like, I don't understand it. So the inability to be able to explain your position to me means that, you just lack that knowledge. And like I said, I can't tell you how many conversations I've had in the last 2 weeks where individuals are not even able to explain their position. I've had an older gentleman tell me that the stimulus came from Obama. So I know they don't know what the hell they're talking about. So
he wasn't even in office.
The man told me that the stimulus came from Obama. So I don't know what time machine he using or what he got going on, but the man literally told me that. And like I said, to touch base on the other stuff, the economic part that you guys are talking about in terms of the money and the tariffs and all of that, Donald Trump was the person that realized that, hey, why are we fighting with Taiwan on important things like semiconductor chips for, to control everything that we use in the world? Why is it only one place that manufactures semiconductor chips? And these are the conversations that you can't have with the average black person because they don't know anything other than fucking abortion. So they don't even know what a semiconductor chip is or what it's used for, and the fact that everything that they hold on their person has a fucking semiconductor chip in it. They don't even know that. But aside from that, why is Taiwan the only fucking place set up to produce this vital resource for the entire world? Which is why China is like, hey, we want to take that shit back. See, the average black people, they don't even know this type of shit. They don't know world events. They're just worried about their small little bubble and how that bubble is going to be fake affected by something that they don't have any control over. So it's just like, man, those small things. Trump was the reason Apple put more factories in the United States. He's like, hey, look, y'all already don't have none of y'all money over here. So you telling me you don't have none of the money over here and you're going to outsource all the work? The purpose of the tariffs is not to make things cheaper. And like what Brian pointed out earlier in this conversation, it's going to be a rough patch. It's not going to be like, oh, tariffs in place and we making money. No, the purpose of the tariffs is to get more work out of the United States, to put those jobs back here, to put that here. We have a money problem. We have a greed problem. Pockets are always going to get greased. That's the way of life. But we have a greed problem. We got people making $50 million in bonuses. What you need $50 million in bonuses for? $100 million in bonuses when the American people can barely shop. Like, you can get your money, but it's like, man, at what cost?
And that's the thing too, that people don't realize that when you go back, and just to put proof in the pudding, when you go back to the late 80s, the mid to late 80s, when you look at cities like Flint, Michigan was where they made Pontiac, Michigan, all that was where they made cars. Those entire cities, Flint, Pontiac, all of those surrounding cities around Detroit, where the big three were as far as the car manufacturers, all of the cars were being made there. Those factories, those auto manufacturers closed their factories because it was cheaper to move those factories overseas. So they were still making Pontiacs. Y'all remember riding in them Bonneville SEs? Y'all remember riding in those all of those different cars, the Chrysler and all? They started making them overseas. Why? Cheaper labor, which increased their profit margin. And when the government allowed them to go and take all those jobs and outsource those plants and was shipping those same cars getting made over there, bringing them over here, and those companies were making pennies, they were paying pennies on the dollar for labor. So I'm paying these people here in the United States, in Flint, Michigan, that's working at my plant, the starting salary for an entry-level position. Yeah, they may be starting out at $15 or $20 an hour, but I can go over to overseas to some small Chinese factory, make the same car, but the entry-level position over there for somebody is $1.10. You talking about $13, $14 that I'm saving in labor? That's increasing my profit margin. That's why all of those car manufacturer plants close and they literally decimated those cities. That's why Flint went from being a thriving city where middle-class Americans live. It went from that to where they ain't got no goddamn fresh water to drink. They got lead in the water, and they getting their water from Detroit, and Detroit is charging them and making them either pay to either get the water clean for parasites or getting it clean for lead. And they chose clean for parasites, we'll drink the lead. That's what they did. Those are the things that happen not on our watch. Our parents and grandparents watch it happen on, but that's what happens when you outsource. You take those dollars and you take those jobs away from Americans. Where did those Americans go work at? They didn't. Those cities are now ghost towns. They are riddled with nothing but drugs and crime because there's no jobs there. So when you take that same concept and you take it across, when you got your Harley Davidsons trying to go overseas and all that, y'all can take y'all ass over there. It's America. But I tell you what, that car you go make over in Taiwan, when you bring that motherfucker back over here, we're going to put a 200% tariff on it. How about that? Yep. Or you can just make the motherfucker here on the south side of Chicago and we good. Choice is yours. Yeah, you're going to pay a little bit more in labor, but it's for the betterment of the country. And that's the same thing we need to do with Germany. Hey, Germany. Yeah, I know we've been over there for 50-something, 60-something years. And yeah, we kind of like got our foothold on y'all, got a foot on y'all neck. But if y'all motherfuckers don't start selling Chevys, Chryslers, and whatever the fuck over there and letting us get a piece of that, then when y'all send them Benzes over here, we going to put 100% tariff on it. How about that? The choice is yours. Or you can sell our cars over there too. That's the type of America we need to be. To where people know you can't just come over here and it's a fucking cakewalk and you can rob us blind and we ain't gonna say shit because you paid off a senator, because you paid off a fucking congressman, because you paid off a fucking president to where they allow the shit to happen. You paid off some fucking embassy ambassador to where you let the shit happen. That's the America we need to get back to where people understand and realize you can get money, but you ain't gonna get the fuck over on America. And that's one of the things that Donald Trump is standing for. We're not going to let our everyday, average, working class Americans suffer because y'all want to let some other fucking foreign company get over because they're willing to put some millions in y'all pockets. Pharmaceutical companies included.
Yep. Exactly. And I'm with you with that 100%. And when you try to explain that, like to make those important points to people, they act like you're talking in Chinese. Abortion. If I hear that shit, pardon my French, one more time, I'm gonna lose my mind. That is the least of our concerns as America. And I don't know, I was watching something the other day. I don't know if it was Ben Carson. I don't know who it was, but somebody was like, it was one of them lefties, and he was extremely angry. He was like, you can't tell me that Americans went out and voted because bread costs too much money and milk costs too much money. You saw that? Yeah. I'm like, what? I'm like,
you know what that is? That's rich motherfuckers thinking. When you don't go and buy your bread, you don't give a fuck how much bread costs. When you don't have to go and buy your steak, when you don't have to go and buy your eggs, when you don't have to go and buy your bacon, you don't give a fuck. I know that just because I can't do it, but I understand that because when I'm in the store buying my shit, I'm looking at the prices. If I sent someone to go buy something, I say, hey, man, look, take my American Express Black Card and go do my shopping for the house. I'm not going to give a fuck how much you spend on eggs, how much you spend on bread, what was the cost of butter, I'm not going to care about that because I got enough money to where I'm willing to pay someone else to go do my shopping. That's exactly what that is. And everybody who says that the economy is doing good, but people just don't understand. Nope, that's rich motherfucker thinking. That's rich motherfucker speak. Because you got enough money to where it don't matter how much bread costs. You got enough money to where you don't give a fuck about how much gas costs because you got it. Right. It's the people that go to work every day. It's the people that actually have to deal with it and actually pay for this shit every day that look at their bills. When you see American debt like go up $1 trillion to where people are maxing their credit cards, Them ain't the motherfucking broadcasters at CNN. Them ain't the broadcasters sitting at the desk at MSNBC. Those are not the broadcasters sitting at Fox. Those motherfuckers don't have those problems. We do. And that's what 75 million motherfuckers cared about. Right. Yeah. Rachel Maddow don't give a shit about how much gas can be $9 a gallon. You know what that bitch is going to do? She's going to pay it because she's not even gassing up her car. You ain't going to see Rachel Maddow and her fucking QT putting gas in her car. She got a fucking car service. You ain't going to see a fucking Jay Leno. Is he dead?
No, Jay Leno ain't dead, man.
Jay Leno ain't dead.
Jay Leno ain't dead, man.
Let me check TMC.
No, man, he ain't dead.
Jay Leno can go and fill up his fucking old cars because why? He probably got a goddamn gas station at the hangar where all of his fucking 79, 80 cars are. So he don't have to worry about that.
And he actually, to cut you off, he actually does. I watched the Jay Leno's garage.
He does?
Has a gas station on his.
He got a goddamn gas station at his fucking car hangar or whatever. He got a goddamn airport hangar that he turned in to store his fucking cars in. That's it. I don't care about that. So yeah, I can get on fucking late night TV and go on fucking Gutfeld or whatever and joke about the shit because it doesn't affect me. But, however, you have 75 million motherfuckers who it does affect. And that's the shit, just like Gary, Indiana. Gary, Indiana was like Flint, except it was for steel. Gary, Indiana was known for steel mills. That whole East Chicago thing and Gary, Indiana, that was one of the biggest steel hubs next to fucking Pittsburgh. So it's like they take those industries away, like with fracking and gas and coal, taking those industries away from those people. Y'all are unemploying motherfuckers. President Biden, day one, took 11,000 jobs away by canceling that pipeline and didn't bat a fucking eye. They can find other jobs. They can get into technology. Motherfucker, I weld pipe. How the fuck do I go from being a pipe welder to working on fucking computers? That's the kind of shit that people don't think about, especially us broke black folks that don't have no jobs because you ain't working, you ain't got no job because you ain't out here getting money on your own. You're not out here earning on your own. So you don't give a fuck about those people that get their ass up every day and go to work because you on public aid, because you on WIC, because you getting free money, because you getting taken care of for free, even though you really ain't got shit. You got just enough to survive, but you cool with it because you ain't got to get your ass up and go to work.
For the ones that's actually paying for your actual subsidy, paying you for to be at home, the ones actually paying, you don't care if they go to work or not, which is mind-boggling to me. But this last point I wanted to touch on, like when you think about it, man, like all of these companies, and I've been saying this for the longest, all of these companies, man, that receive subsidies from the government now, you can take your business and do business wherever you want to do your business at. If you don't require any money from the government, which I can tell you that no major corporation, they all get money, subsidies from the government. Our money goes to them, Verizon, AT&T, and we talking about people that have billions and billions and billions of dollars. They take advantage of the subsidies that are offered to them and to get the money back for employing people, and they got the nerve to cut jobs positions that they actually need, but they're cutting these jobs and outsourcing them overseas. We need somebody in the White House that can be like, hey, man, we can't do that. You have to have a limit on that. If you're going to take the American people's money to get your business and stay afloat, you have to have American people employed. You cannot say, well, we're going to cut 5,000 jobs because all you black people that's like, well, no, she was going to charge the rich. And you know what they're going to do? Hey, man, cut 20,000 American jobs this quarter. And next quarter, I want you to cut another 20,000 and go overseas. And I want you to get a call center set up and pay their ass $1 an hour. That's what I want you to do, because you're doing that and they receiving money from us. Another big thing that's going to be an issue that is an issue is AI technology. And me and you, we in technology. This is what I do for a living. I do technology for a living. It's my thing. I'm telling you that shit's going to be a problem. Companies are going to be using that to phase out job positions, phase out people positions, phasing out actual departments that they need in essence to putting in AI technology to replace your job. They were just talking about that shit in the Senate with Mark Zuckerberg and all of the important smart people. They were just talking about that. They need laws in place. And if we don't get that in place, we're going to have less and less of us here to pay for the iPhones and buy all this fancy shit that everybody wants to have. You ain't going to be able to afford it because ain't going to be no regular jobs. It's already a gap right now in regular jobs. That's why the youth, they like, man, I'd rather do OnlyFans than to go work. Because the gap, the gap for actually being able to own and buy something and have something is getting smaller and smaller and smaller and smaller. If you look at the cost of living, the cost of housing, the cost of cars from where it was 30 years ago until now, there's been no sizable increase for the people. It's only been on the back end. For you to get a house that's even worth really living in, if you somebody that give a fuck, that's just gonna be like $300 and some $1,000 plus. That's ridiculous, man. That is ridiculous. I got the money right now to buy a house, but I refuse to do so because of that. And that's ridiculous when regular middle class people can't do those kind of things because it's just not worth it. And for them to only be talking about abortion, that's all you ever hear from the other side. Well, abortion and our rights is body rights. Man, if you don't get out of my face, and that's why every ethnicity, every gender, everybody got out and voted because they sick of it. And that's what they don't understand. And everybody's so puzzled by that.
And it's so many people that are way younger than us that don't even have a shot at having any of the shit that we have. They literally don't have enough money to where they can actually even do something as simple as live on their own as a single adult. Those that are, the majority of them are literally living paycheck to paycheck, or they're literally taking on and increasing their credit card debt in order to just survive. Those that have over these past 4 plus years, they have lost the ability to be single on their own, where there was a time when that was the thing. People couldn't wait to get a job so that they could literally say anywhere. If you could get a job anywhere, you would make enough money to where you could at least live on your own in a 1-bedroom apartment or a 1-bedroom studio, whatever the case may be. There was a time where you could get an entry-level job and be able to live on your own. That is gone to the point, so much to the point to where most people that have just recently graduated from college or may not be in college and just working, they have to live with their parents because they simply cannot afford to live on their own. They can't afford the average rent for a 1-bedroom apartment. If it's $1,000 a month, how can I do that and I only make $29,000 a year? Half of my salary is going to rent, and we ain't even took out no taxes yet.
Man,
that's where we're at today. And people don't want to accept the fact that, hey, so what? And a lot of women, you do have options because you got niggas that'll take care of you. You can, like you said, you can hop your ass on OnlyFans and get some simps to pay your bills. You can actually sell a little pussy and get some money the way you can get your phone paid, get your rent paid, get your car note paid. You talking about the average person that ain't got to pay $1,200 for a 1-bedroom, $1,500 for a 1-bedroom, and I ain't even got no fucking car? That's insane. And I think, like you said, people got tired of it.
That's in a shitty neighborhood too. Just so you know that, like, that's not even in an affluent neighborhood where there's nice things. Like, bro, you got places in Inglewood, back in Chicago, Inglewood, where they're charging $1,300, $1,400. You mean to tell me I'm gonna pay $1,300, $1,400 and I can get shot on the way here? That don't even make sense.
And there's a bum sleep in the doorway. I gotta step over a nigga to come home.
Come on, man. Come home. People sitting on my car. Come on, man. Come on, man. Like, it's crazy, man. It's crazy. And people voted because of that. And they can't understand that. So, you know, that's the biggest thing. That's my biggest takeaway from this entire thing is just like the amount of stupidity and ignorance is at an all-time high, especially with the older generation who's supposed to be teaching and pushing those values down. They're not doing that at all.
Yep. And I will say this, and just wrapping things up. One of the things that I have learned from this election is that we, Black folks, more particular, Black men more so, we're starting to wake the fuck up. We're starting to realize that they ain't for us. Those Democrats, those liberals, all of these motherfuckers that talked all this shit about us, and the fact that they talked so much shit about us during this election cycle, I think it taught us a lesson, and it made us realize I don't have to be embarrassed by who I vote for. I don't have to be a person who's ashamed or will get shamed if I vote for somebody that y'all think I shouldn't vote for. And it's like, I've been damned if I do and damned if I don't anyway. I might as well do what I want to do and go and vote for the person that I think is going to be a change, and that's going to actually be a choice that will actually help me, as opposed to me just towing the line because somebody else who's black said I should vote black. I think that we are now starting to wake up and are now starting to understand, like you said, Trump numbers increased like a motherfucker this past election. What he did this election is by far the greatest comeback ever in election history. And I think that Hispanics and blacks played a huge part in that by saying, let me start voting my interests, as opposed to towing the line and voting for who makes me feel good. And I think that slowly but surely, when you have things that are dying, like your CNNs, like your MSNBCs, your ABCs, people aren't going to those sources anymore for their information. And I think now, going forward, the biggest pieces of these elections that's going to start deciding who wins or not, like it or not, it's going to be the podcasters. It's going to be the Joe Rogans. It's going to be the Aiden Rosses. It's going to be the Consonants. It's going to be the Tucker Carlsons. It's going to be the PBD broadcast, Patrick Bet-Davids, that are going to start weighing in on elections. Because if you can't sit, have a conversation with somebody to show us who you really are, and sit with somebody for 2 hours and talk to them, people are going to be like, man, fuck you. Because that's exactly what Kamala did. And the fact that she didn't go on these real podcasts, she staged her podcast. And she wouldn't go and talk to a Joe Rogan. It's like even the shit she did with Shannon Sharp, it was so fake, people saw right through it. She had more activity in the comments than she did views.
You know why?
That says a lot.
That's scripted versus unscripted. And they don't want to be put in a position, especially Cackles doesn't want to be put in a position to where she's going to have to answer something that is even remotely hard to her. And the teleprompter isn't on either. Man, you must be out your mind if you think she's gonna ask those questions. It's the same thing with Biden. That's why they didn't let Biden do stuff, because if he goes off script, this guy's engine's gonna overheat and everybody's gonna see what's happening. That's why they never did it. That's why he never went on any of those things. And then you got somebody like Trump that has literally done, since the time that Kamala said that she was running for president, that was their presidential elect, he had done like 140-something events, bro, like crazy.
Yes.
Her like 20, 25, 20 or some shit like that.
To be damn near 80 years old and to go as hard as he went, day in and day out, mind you, having no script, having actual conversations, sitting down with Aiden Ross for an hour and a half, sitting down with Joe Rogan for 3 hours, sitting down with whoever, wherever, whenever, fitting everybody in. It made the difference, bro. It made the difference like a motherfucker, because people realize, oh, the shit these people are saying on the news and on The View and on Rachel Maddow, man, that shit ain't true. He explaining it. He's sitting here talking about it right now. And people got to really see who he was and what he was about, and it made all the difference. It brought in the young people. It gave people that crazy to say, man, this dude is pretty much being a straight up 100 motherfucker. He ain't perfect. And yes, he may say some things you don't like or some things that's stupid, like the whole eating the dogs thing or whatever the case may be. It's just something he just shouldn't have said. But he showed people that, yes, you can say what the fuck you want as long as you stand on it and you keeping it a buck and it's what you believe and you confident in it, go ahead. And that shit mattered at the end. Yep.
Absolutely. I agree with you 100%.
Man, I tell you, this has been a great show, man. I have really, 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 really enjoyed this, man. I wish I could do this more often. I would like to do it more often because I think it's conversations like this that really matters. The fact that we got a bunch of brothers on here talking, we got a bunch of people that are on here expressing ourselves, expressing our views, and just willing to have conversations. I welcome this any and every time possible. Any and every time possible. So I'll let you guys, Anthony, I'll start with you and work my way down to Kango and Eric, and let you guys have your last words, man.
I appreciate it, man. Yeah, it was a great conversation, great topics, and the more people have these type of conversations and are willing to educate those who either don't know or even to counteract points for those who are desperately trying to destroy, these type of conversations to hinder people from actually hearing the truth is what's needed. So, I appreciate you for letting me up, man, and I'll see you guys on the back end. Talk to you later.
For sure, bro. I appreciate you, Anthony T. Biz, my guy. Thank you so much. Go ahead, brother Kango.
Yo, man, definitely love the conversation. And I think that the sad thing, when you look at people, people don't want to discuss their leadership. They don't want to discuss the fact that politicians are crooked, and the politicians are actually supposed to be working for us. So my bottom line, when it boils down to it, because not to say it, but Moses himself, he implemented the fact y'all gonna bring me ephahs of gold, silver, flour, bring your first of your cattle, do this and do that. Man, these politicians are doing the same thing. And sometimes you got to look and investigate it enough to see if it's crooked or not. See if they going over the top. Because Moses himself, he had people, he went from making them bringing it to him once a year to twice a year to once a month to, man, he started making these folks bring it to him every day. And sometimes you got to sit down and realize, like, and you come to the realization through conversations like these, and that you could actually have with real people that could possibly do something about it. I mean, you might influence somebody to go into politics just because of this podcast that you're doing. So you never know. I say, let's keep doing this. Let's keep things like this going, and let's take it more serious. And I mean, like, to the people that keep running away from the conversation, I just say, grow up a little bit and realize, like, this is a part of life, and you actually have to talk about it, not just during the election season. Talk about it all the time. If something strange happening in your community, talk about it. And that way something can be done about it.
For sure. I appreciate that, man. Go ahead, Easy.
I just want to keep it short and simple, man. I just want people to research for yourself. And aside from researching for yourself and all that good stuff, take the emotion out of things and think about your life, your family's life, and how these policies and the people in place affect your life as a whole, not just one particular aspect only. Think about the entire package and what that individual offers when you go and put that ballot in for your local government, your state government, the presidency. Think about what's going to be best for you and the progress of your family. That's what you got to think about. It can't be a one-trick pony in this whole thing. You have to think about your family as an entirety and how you're going to be affected by the policies and procedures, not just one specific thing. I just want Black people to research that, look at that, and look at your life and how easy it was compared to the last 4 years versus the future 4 years gonna be.
Nice. All right, Eric James, what you got for us?
Hey, can you hear me, brother?
Yes, sir.
With some camera problems. Briefly, I want to encourage the listeners to reach across the aisle. This is the time where we can lovingly but firmly and factually woo those who feel lost and disenfranchised, and try to make it something that is appealing beyond an identity issue. Talk about a value that you both have in common, or something that you both hold dear about this nation. What changed my daughter is doing just that, not preaching to her and shoving it down her throat, but finding out at her core, what was she really concerned about? She's concerned about a lot of things that most people are, like we've talked about tonight, their pockets, their position in our communities and beyond. So try to reach across the aisle, brothers and sisters. Okay, that's it, B.
Very good, man. All right. Well, I want to thank to the people that donated tonight. Thank you guys. Shout out to my man Omerta. Hit your boy up with $25. My man Omerta hit me back with another $25. I appreciate you. Shout out to my man Mike G. Hit your boy with $20. My man Illa Dre hit your boy with $3. Thank you guys so much, man. My man Jay Turk, who's always hitting me up. My man Billy Goat. Thank you guys so much for donating to the show. I really do appreciate it. And I'm gonna wrap it up with this. What I've learned from this election is that we all need to be more. Be more. Be more vigilant with your research. Be more than just a parrot who will just repeat somebody what they tell you. Be more than just a person who wants, hot phrases and hot takes to just recite. Be more than just that person that hears what somebody says and you parrot it. If you're going to go and you're going to agree with somebody's position, if you're going to be that person that's going to say, hey, I'm going to support what it is that this, know what you're supporting and why so that you can speak to it. We have to be more than just a bunch of people that you can get to do something if you get Cardi B to show up. We have to be more than just a group of people that if you get Oprah to show up, we'll do what she say. We have to be more than a group of people that if you get Beyonce to show up, we gonna do what she say. We have to be more than just a group of people where if you get Sexy Red to show up, we'll do what she say. We got to be more than you just getting some celebrity who don't give two shits about us, and the only reason they showing up is because they're getting a bag. They getting 1.8 million, 1 million, 2 million, 10 million to tell us what the fuck to do. We need to be more than just that group of people to where if you want our vote, you got to bring some shit to the table that we can actually touch, feel, and hold, and it's going to benefit us. Not just something that sound good, not just something that makes us feel good, not somebody that just tells us stupid shit like be unburdened by what's been. Turn the page. I know you guys are exhausted. I come from a middle-class family. We need to be more than just the people that hears that. And because I'm Greek, I'm part of the Divine Nine. I'm a Q. I'm an Alpha. I'm a Delta. We need to be more than that to where people will respect us more, to have more for us than just some fucking cool ass line, some fucking celebrity or some movie star telling us what to do because we'll follow them. We need to be more than just that. We need to be about our families. We need to be about our communities. We need to be more about those things that benefit not just us, but those that come behind us. And I shouldn't have to be a first-time home buyer or a first-time business owner to get any type of break from my government that I'm paying taxes for. We should be more than that. And we need to expect more if we're going to be more. It's just that simple. You expect nothing, you get nothing. You will be nothing. You have to be the change. Don't think somebody gonna give it to you. Stop asking for reparations and repair yourself. And that's all I have to say about that, as Forrest Gump would say. I want to thank you, brothers. Thank everybody that tuned in. Thank everybody that clicked that like button, click that share button. Please, please, please don't be afraid to hit me up. Hit me up in the comments section or shoot me an email. If you guys want to talk about something else, definitely let me know and we can have that conversation. I appreciate each and every one of y'all, man. I'm Brian Redmond. This is the Relationship Rehab. And until next time, peace, and I'm out. I love y'all, and I will catch y'all all next time. Thank you to everybody that supported the show. Thank you to all my vets. I salute you all. Thank you to my wonderful wife for 13 years, who I still ain't put out yet. Don't let it I won't now. But I love y'all, man. And shout out to everybody, man. Peace. And I'm out. Till next time.